Folks, welcome back. We've had a lot of fun this year. We've had a lot of laughs. We've had some cries. We've had some views and ahs, and here it is. We're wrapping it all up. It's the end of the year special. It's a little late, but there's a reason for that, and I'm going to get right to that now. I did this video already. It's the second today. I did this video 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 3 days ago on the 30th. 4 days ago? 3 days ago. I did this video. I went 2 hours and 51 minutes and 49 seconds, I believe. And I went through all 70 movies that I saw this year, including the 12, 14, whatever I saw, the old ones I saw. And we had a great time doing it. I had a half a warm bottle of Jameson that I was choking down. It was kind of embarrassing. I was wincing after every single sip. Kind of glad that tape won't get out because I was not even trying to hide it. I was being such a baby. I don't like drinking whiskey, and it was warm. It was like almost hot, and it didn't taste. Whiskey doesn't taste like, obviously it's whiskey, but it tasted like bad. It tasted like it doesn't go bad, but it tasted like, I don't know, just tasted terrible. It was It was a completely disgusting experience. Anyway, we had a good time, but when I went to download the movie, let me explain the technical terms. Little nerd talk for the geeks out there. When I recorded, I did it in like 5 parts. I had to take breaks. I went to the bathroom a couple times. I went 3 hours. I'm only human. And then, so when I put them all together, I had to do it on iMovie. Adobe Premiere has been giving me trouble with the audio. It kind of blows. So I've been using iMovie. And it's been great. I've had no problem with iMovie. So I download all the videos. I go over to I download all the videos together on iMovie. Puts it all together into one, 2 hours and 51 minutes. Boom. I'm thinking, great. I'll wait till January 1st to download it. Because I think, January 1st to upload it up to YouTube. Because I don't know why I'm even worried about which day is better for engagement. But I figure that just makes more sense. Nobody's watching a 3-hour video in general, but especially not on New Year's Eve. Maybe New Year's Day. But anyway, New Year's Day comes. I go to download it. And let me back up a little bit. This video takes up 25 gigabytes of storage on iMovie. So I have to delete all the videos off of the Photos app to make room to download the video off of iMovie all together as one. I have to delete the 40-minute segments or so I can download the 3-hour video all together as one and then upload it. And then when I delete all the videos on the 30th, and then on the 1st, when I go to download the 3-hour movie, it says failure to download videos from the cloud. What does that mean? That means that I needed to hold on to those videos in order to download the movie off of iMovie. So I would have had to use up, in theory, 75 gigabytes of storage for this one video. And for some reason, when the movie is all together on iMovie, that's not good enough, and it doesn't have the video actually saved on there, despite taking up 25 gigabytes of storage on the app. So here I was left with my you-know-what in my hand, and I got to redo the whole thing. You might be thinking, why redo the whole thing? But that's why I'm the best. That's why you're all here, and that's why there's nobody else doing it like me. So let's just get right to it. I didn't have, like I said, I had the half a bottle of the warm Jameson. I didn't even get through that the other night, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm pulling a Johnny Drama and drinking tequila waters with Jose Cuervo. Me, Machio, Johnny Drama. And who was the third there? In Entourage. This is going to kill me. Oh my God. All right, let's start the video. But that's going to kill me. He has the mom. He's the extremely goofy movie Buddy. Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore was the one who opened the monkey cage. Anyway, I started with the old movies. I don't think I did. I broke for the old movies halfway through. So let's start at number 70. Let's start with the crap. Let's start with the bad. Number 70, I Know What You Did Last Summer, starring, I don't know who the young people were, and then Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. They were brought back, and it was the worst movie it was number 69 is I Know What You Did Last Summer. Number 70, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Worst movie of the year. I don't know how I put that at 69 instead. Yeah, it was hardly even a movie. I Know What You Did Last Summer was, no. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 sucked absolute ass. And I don't know how it was even enjoyable. I went on for, I think, 20 minutes already about this, but even for the fans itself, like, it felt like they were treating them like babies. It felt like this was fan service for, like, a game of babies. Like, I remember seeing clips from the Paw Patrol movie when that came out, and the stakes felt higher and it was more intense in that movie, and, like, that felt more adult and serious. And this is just literally for, like, 5-year-old children, but it's supposed to be scary, but it never even really tries to be scary besides, like, robots having red eyes. Anyway, awful movie, awful experience. If you're into that kind of stuff, I was going to say that's okay, but I mean, come on, man. Unsubscribe. Number 69, I Know What You Did Last Summer, starring Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt. Terrible, awful, no good. Did I fall asleep for 10 minutes in the middle of it? Yes. Have I seen the original movie? No. Does that mean that this movie was not the second worst movie I saw all year? No. This was an absolute dog water movie. Again, it was another hardly a movie. I don't even remember much about it. You're going to say, hey, that's probably because you fell asleep for more than 15 minutes and you're lying to us. But I don't lie to you guys. If I am lying, it's because I actually fell asleep for like 5 minutes. But the movie sucked. I fell asleep because the movie sucked. I made the choice, all right? I put my head back. Moving on. Number 68. Wolfman. A lot of people are thinking, they made a Wolfman movie? Yeah, they did. And originally this movie was supposed to star Ryan Gosling, my guy. Like, my original guy. Is he I'll have to do a my guy. I don't know if I said this, but I want to do a my guy video, like my guy rankings, power rankings. And I think Ryan Gosling might have been my original, like, my guy. I can't think of an actor who I, like, claimed before him. The guy who plays Matt Saracen, Zach Gilford. I'll try to have him on the show. That'd be fun. We could talk about being named Zach. Talk Friday Night Lights. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know what you can even talk to him besides Friday Night Lights. Being named Zach would genuinely be the second thing that comes up. 68 Wolfman starring, it ended up being Charlie from Girls, whose name I cannot remember as well. Christopher Abbott. Good in Girls, but in this movie, he doesn't really have much to do. It's a terrible movie. It's one of those horror movies where it's like, all right, let's start off and go to the secret cabin in the woods. Did I use that word right? I'm thinking of Eric Adams' video. But anyway, let's just keep moving. It's it's like, we move this to the cabin in the woods so we can have a 6-person cast and keep the budget under $15 million. That's a guess. And this movie is painfully boring. If it's a Wolfman, you want to see the Wolfman in action. You want to see the Wolfman go into the city maybe and get up to some nonsense. And eat some people, kill some people. This is the first Wolfman I saw, so I don't really know what the Wolfman typically gets up to. But I'd like to see him eat and kill some people. Just kind of boring, like, dad drama in this. Julia Garner's also in it as well. I never feel like I have that name right, but I think I do. I mean, decent actor. She had weapons right after, so thankfully this was not much of a stain for her. But Christopher Abbott, he's in a decent, he's having a really good career. The fact that he even had a leading role in a big studio movie is a win. Doesn't matter that it wasn't good. And I'd like to have him on the show as well. Number 67. There's a trend here. Let's see if you pick it up. Bring Her Back. Directed by the fellows, what do they call people in Australia? The chaps, the Aussies who made Talk to Me. And I love Talk to Me. Talk to Me is like a good time hangout horror movie. They just hang out it takes place almost like in a basement, hanging out the whole time. And that's awesome. Like, it's just like a group of friends pretty much hanging out and scary things are happening to them. They're like willfully participating in this curse for a scare. They like want the thrill. And then things obviously escalate, and it's awesome. It's one of my favorite horror movies of the last 5 years, of the decade. And so, therefore, I was pumped up for this movie. I was jacked off for Bring Her Back, but it ended up just really being boring as tar. I was right from the start. I feel like I almost have it. Do I have the right movie here? Yeah, I do. So boring. It's like, this movie was so boring that I'm wondering if I have the right, like, there's no way to talk. Like, as I said, talked about Talk to Me. I was thinking there's no way that they made a movie this dull and this terrible. But sure enough, they did. And sure enough, it's the 67th best movie of the year. Congratulations, guys. Number 66, Keeper from the director Osgood Perkins. He would like you to believe this is his third movie. I've loved The Monkey. Love The Monkey. I think we already did the Keeper review. I love The Monkey. I hate long legs. So for this one, I was thinking, this could be this like either way. And then once I saw the first trailer for it, I was all in. And then once I found out it was a full horror movie, I was like, And full horror movies are like, hey, by the way, it's like saying, hey, by the way, this is just gonna be really boring. Like you could probably close your eyes for about half hour this one. I didn't close my eyes for a half hour this one, but I should have. And it's pretty much like a cure for insomnia, this movie. It's so dull. And the monster's kind of scary, I think. I remember thinking that it was going to be scary from the trailer, but I don't know. Number 65, Hard Eyes. You notice the trend here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies. The first 7... 6 movies. The first 6, all horror movies. And I think that happens because there's such a high volume of horror movies, and I go to a lot of horror movies, honestly. So that's why there's going to be a lot of... Let's see how many horror movies are on the rest of the list. So there's 6. The 6 worst movies I saw are horror movies. The rest of the list, there is 1, 2, 3, 4... Not a lot of good ones. 5, but I like this one more because it was a comedy. 6. Wow. Do you count Sinners? I get 7. There's more horrors in the bottom 6 than there are in the top 64. And there might be more horrors than any other genre, but I think that the reason that there's so many bad horror movies is because there's such a high volume of horror movies, and I think that's because, like I said with Wolfman, there's so many but with the secluded location, I think that's better than Secrete. I think that the fact there's so many low budget, it's easy, and they make money. The horror hounds always come out. Wolfman, it was terrible. It was universally agreed to be terrible, but I would guess that it actually might have made some money. I said it bombed, but it might have made some money. And all the bad ones make money. I Know What You Did Last Summer made a ton of money. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 made money. Hard Eyes, I don't remember how much money it made. Yeah, but it's such an easy, it's like a lottery ticket. You make these movies and you hope, like Talk to Me made $100 million. You hope if you make enough $5 million movies, then you get the $100 million one, and that pays for the next 20 of them, right? In a perfect world. But Hard Eyes was the next movie that sucked. It was another one. It was one of those slashers where it's like they're looking at the camera like, where it almost feels like we're in a slasher movie, and everyone has to be like, yep, I get it, yeah. Like Scream is the best, and it's the bar, and everyone's trying to everyone's pretty much just trying to make Scream, and you gotta. I feel like the next great slasher movie is gonna be made by someone who's never even seen Scream. You gotta like Truman Show someone's life into never seeing Scream, but seeing every other horror movie. Maybe all the ones that aren't inspired by Scream that you can pretend don't exist. Then see what kind of horror movie they exist. It'd be a shame if the guy didn't even want to get into filmmaking, if you did that whole experiment. Number 64. Another horror movie in itself, if you had to sit in the theater for 2 hours and 15 minutes, Wicked Part 2. Or Wicked for Good, I guess. I went on for 47 minutes and talked myself to sleep already, but this movie was an absolute stinker. Capital S, capital T, capital E, capital R. I don't know what more there is to say. And they're still pumping it out. Roku City is up in my face right now. And it still says, live from Roku City, celebrates Wicked for Good. Watch exclusive performance. What does that even mean? This thing is they're still trying to get this thing out. And I was on the right side of history. I won the war on Wicked for Good. The war on Wicked, honestly, because looking back, we'll just keep it to Wicked for Good. Everyone hated this movie. Even the Wicked Heads didn't like this movie. Even they found themselves disappointed. And I know that. But the fact that not just a guy like me, who went in there with his mind made up, sure, but that's because I hated the first one and they filmed them back to back. But the fact they filmed them back to back and the second one is so much worse, is so insane and such a crazy, like, directional achievement almost from John M. Chu. You kind of got to give him a pat on the back for being so bad. And, like, this is what the Razzies are all about. This is what, like, worst movie, worst, I don't know if there's any worst performances. Like, worst director. This is an all-time terrible steamer. All of these horror movies, if you add up their budgets, they're still not equal to Wicked Part 2. And none of them are trying to or being taken somewhat seriously as awards contenders. And none of their members of the cast, I don't think anyone from the cast of Heart Eyes is writing letters to the voters of the Critics' Choice Awards begging them to vote for them. Ariana Grande the other day released a letter that she wrote to the Critics' Choice Award voters about how much it meant to play Glinda. About how it was such a life-changing experience. How it was, I'm not even going to pretend that I read it, but just how sad is that? How absolutely miserable and pathetic is that? If any other actor did that, if Timothée Chalamet did that, playing Marty meant this much to me, wrote an open letter asking the Oscar voters to vote for him, I think he might be killed within the hour. I think he wouldn't last the day. He'd have to go on the run, and that would be it for him. But the fact that Ariana Grande is like, she acts like a child on public and on red carpets, and so we have to treat her like a child when she does stuff like this. Like, no, this is one of the lowest things that an actor, celebrity has ever done. Well, that's saying something. One of the lowest legal things. Publicity, I just hate this. It's such a grimy move. One of the lowest things someone's done on the awards campaign, on the awards circuit. That makes sense. Yeah, this is the worst thing a celebrity's ever done. I'll say that too. Moving on. And it wasn't even like Cynthia Erivo too. It was just like, yep, me. I need this because she can feel the heat. The worm is turning. I think she's gonna get the nomination. I think she might win the Critics' Choice Award because that's an easily manipulated bunch, the critics, and just asking them, I think people will vote for it just so they can be like, hey, Ariana, I loved your letters so much. When they see her on a red carpet, then she'd be like, oh my God, thank you so much. But, yeah, just sad. Absolutely sad. What a sad ending for the Wicked campaign. But I like Ariana Grande as an actor. I do. I'm excited for her performance in Fockers in Law. Is that what it's called? There was I think an article came out today about her, or maybe one little quote about how, like, this is going to be her big performance. Like, they're already starting the campaign for that, which is, I guess you got to respect the machine. You got to respect the publicity machine, the PR machine pumping it up, because she just got nominated. She's going to get nominated for 2 actors, and they're saying that the fourth Meet the Fockers movie fourth Meet the Parents movie is the real acting showcase. And I honestly do believe that, because I think that she's a great comedic actress, and this is such a good spot for it. Yeah, I like her as an actor, but what a pathetic move. Number 63, Happy Gilmore 2. Just a much better movie than Wicked for Good. And Happy Gilmore 2 pretty much is a 10 out of 10, or it aspires to be a 4 out of 10 movie, and it's a 2 out of 10 movie. Wicked for Good, or I don't know this whole Wicked thing, but there's movies that try to be a 9 out of 10, and they're a 2 out of 10. But Happy Gilmore is not trying to be anything, and it really isn't anything at all. It helps. This is one of the few movies, I think, that is enhanced by watching on a plane. It came out while I was on vacation, so I watched it on the way back on the plane, and I had some good laughs in my seat. I was honestly, like, looking around hoping people didn't see what I was watching. It was almost like as embarrassing as watching pornography, like watching Happy Gilmore 2 and, like, openly laughing, like trying to cover my mouth at Happy Gilmore, at, like, MJF beating somebody up in Happy Gilmore 2. There's some good scenes. MJF and the Sons do crack me up in that. The silent mimes, absolutely hilarious. The talking mimes. That's what sets them apart. The silent mimes would not make sense at all. That wouldn't be funny. I didn't think Roku City ever shut off. I thought that was like a thing that stayed on. Yeah, Happy Gilmore 2, people gassed it up. People were like, oh, the original comedy is back. It looks like absolute piss. It looks like, I do believe that I don't know if I could have done a better job filming Happy Gilmore 2, but if you put me behind the camera, I don't think it would have looked much worse. And I don't think people would have noticed, as opposed to how it did look. It looked like absolute piss. 62. Another horror movie, folks. What an idiot. Did he direct this movie? I believe so. Steven Soderbergh's Presence. I hope I have that right. I'm going to have to pee a lot because I'm putting a lot of water in here because I'm a baby. It's the premise of Presence. It's one of the first movies I saw of the year. It is a horror movie from the perspective of the spirit that haunts a house. Ooh, interesting, right? No, it really wasn't at all. I was going to try to say where I saw all these movies. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'll just say when all these movies were... Actually, no. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Kingston, Five Nights at Freddy's, Kingston, Wolfman, Hanover. Ooh. No, that was Kingston. Bring Her Back, Kingston, Keeper, Kingston, Hard Eyes, Kingston, Wicked Part 2, Kingston, Happy Gilmore Plain, Presence, Kingston. Kingston's great. I mean, I see the movies for free, but it is just great. It's big. They got 14 screens. It's the best popcorn. I think it's the best movie theater popcorn I've ever had is at the Regal Kingston. And I am looking for some sort of advertisement with them, looking for a deal. So my ears are open if they'd like to strike something up. Presence stunk. Like I just described the premise of Presence, and it sucked ass. It was just boring, and you're waiting for, I think my buddy said this, I think Stin said this that night, Austin of Zach Popcorn fame, said this that night. I don't know if he said this about that movie, or if I said this about a different movie, but you know what, I'll give him credit for saying it about this movie. He said, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, but the first one never does. And that's a great way to put it. And the whole, it drags to an end. The last 10 minutes are completely ridiculous. It ends with the spirit breaking up a sexual assault, but, kind of late, dare I say? After, a minute, after, 40 seconds. It's, the spirit could have done something earlier, definitely. And I think the spirit deserves to be maybe questioned in a court of law. Number 61, the spirit would be canceled, honestly. If the movie had come out in 2017, 18, is that the spirit would have been a victim of the Me Too movement, and rightfully so. Number 61, speaking of the Me Too movement, what a segue. After the Hunt, directed by Luca Guadagnino, starring Julia Roberts, Ayo Edebiri, Andrew Garfield. I feel like there's one more in there that I'm missing. There's plenty more in there, actually. There's multiple actors. There's more than 3 actors in this movie. But that doesn't mean that it's a good movie. In fact, it's terrible. And this is a movie that I saw at Kingston, but this is a movie that had so much Oscar buzz. And it was the hot Oscar pick a year ago for these Oscars. Yeah, that's right. There's people who care about Oscars a year in advance. And even when, there's that big of losers, and I am one of those losers, but this was one of those movies that people were like, all right, this is the Luca Guadagnino movie that's going to do it. It's got the premise. It's about Ayo Edebiri. She plays a student who accuses Andrew Garfield of, I think, just sexual misconduct, I believe. I don't think it goes all the way, but anyway. And Julia Roberts is, her teacher and has to, deal with that whole... It's how she handles it, who she believes, and all that, digging into that world. And it's a heavy premise, it really is, and it just doesn't really do a compelling job with it at all. It's incredibly lackluster, I'd say. I got dual mugs. This one's just water. Yeah, it's just boring. It's an absolute slog of a movie. Like I said, it was one of those... It was a hot Oscar pick. I never really saw it. Luca Guadagnino's movies have never broken through, even though they've been great since Call Me By Your Name. I think that's been his one big push. And I really liked Bones and All and Challengers. I thought Challengers would have been a player, but the fact that wasn't at all, and I just didn't see it with this movie. And then when it actually premiered, it was right away. It was like, nope, that's it. It was instant. It was one of those first screenings, and that just has to be the worst feeling in the world. There's got to be, I don't love the show The Studio. It's very on the nose, but there should be an episode. I don't even know. I guess maybe even just a real life documentary about that follows a director with a movie like that that's getting all the Oscar buzz. And then right from the first jump, it's just like, oh, never mind. Going back to Entourage, it's sort of like a Billy Walsh, Medellin kind of thing, where like when it ended, it's just silence. It's just like that. That's like the worst. That's gotta be the most painful thing to hear after a movie premieres. Number 60, another terrible movie that had a lackluster premiere and killed its Oscar chances after being a heavy favorite the year before. And another one that I saw at Kingston. I don't even think I need to say that. I guess I'll say when I don't see one at Kingston. I'm just looking for the plug. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, directed by Scott Cooper, starring Jeremy Allen White and Strong. I already did a review of this, and I think it's it's a classic example of a cut and paste music biopic. And I never know how to really say that, so I'm trying to say it fast. Biopic or biopic. I've always said biopic, but that just feels wrong. Anyway. It's a bad movie. Oh, I put less water in this. I think I put too much. Whatever. Like I said, I'm a baby. This movie's so boring. It really is. It just farts along the whole way. The sound is nice. When he's playing the guitar, it sounds nice in the theater. It's got to be one of the worst movies possible to watch at home. I was going to say I almost want to experience that, but why would I put myself through that? I gotta stop holding the whole thing. I think it's just easier to hold a one sheet. Gotta go for efficiency in the show. Just gotta shoot for speed. Number 59, Clown in the Cornfield, directed by, I'm sure somebody directed this movie. And if there were some actors in it as well, but I don't know any of their names, and it stunk. It's another slasher that I didn't like. It's a on the nose little, like, it's a fake slasher. It's like a fake out slasher, but there's actually a real slasher, and it really is just super boring. I don't like it. And I had somewhat high hopes because it just looked cool and it just sounded cool. Like, oh, Clown in the Cornfield. Oh, that would be all right. It wasn't at all. Yeah. Don't have much to say about it because I saw it in February and I don't really remember it because it was a really bad horror movie. And I don't know why I sounded kind of defensive there. So leave me alone, all right? Just seriously. I don't remember much about it, all right? I saw it. I don't remember it, all right? Leave me alone. I saw it. Number 58, Thunderbolts. Who directed this one? I think that was one of those, like, weird... I think it was, like, the guy who directed, like, one of the, like, random TV shows, like Wonder Man or something like that. Starring Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Wyatt Russell, who I like, Lewis Pullman, who I like, Florence Pugh, obviously. Don't need to give her the plug. David Harbour, whatever. Don't think he's a good guy, but I think he's going through something, so I mean, who cares? Who else is in this movie? It's got a big cast. It's got a sprawling cast. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the movie wasn't that good, and it felt like just like a joyless, like it was advertised sort of as like a fun, and every single Marvel movie, they say like, we're back. Marvel is back. Like, this is what feels like the old MCU. And that's just them admitting like, all right, every single movie before this one in this phase has not been good, but this one's like the old ones. But this movie was not like the old ones. This one was absolutely lifeless and joyless. And it felt like a boring February spy movie. And even though it came out in May, but it felt like a lifeless, not even a Jason Statham movie. Those are at least like fun and action-packed. But it felt like a bad Gerard Butler action movie. We spent a lot of time in that gray room, I thought. And it just doesn't, the Marvel juice is completely gone. And this is just another cog in that wheel of destroying that like momentum that they had. Yeah, moving on. Number 57, Zootopia 2. Yeah, I already dug my teeth into this one. Terrible, bad animation. You can't dig into the premise of a baby movie too much because I'm a big kid. But just bad movie. I'm an adult. I already did a review on this. I don't know how much I have to say about Zootopia 2. Number 56, Final Destination Bloodlines. And I think this should be higher up there. Yeah, I'm gonna slide this up higher. Number 50, 6, Black Phone 2, directed by Scott Derrickson. Should I even try to guess when I'm not 100% sure? Even on like how to, like if I might be making up the name there. Starring Ethan Hawke and I don't remember the kid's name. He's in another one we're gonna get to later. Shout out to, is he in 3? No, he's in 2. Yeah, the kid was all right, but the movie's just super boring. Did I do Black Phone 2 already? Had I started this by then? Anyway, if not, nobody watched, but nobody saw that. Super boring. Black Phone had a nice premise. I was in on that. I was into the whole idea of the grabber. It advertises the grabber. Black Phone franchise relies on the grabber in the whole advertising and the interest. Like the audience interest. But the grabber's in it for maybe... the grabber has less screen time than we've been going for 31 minutes. He has less than 31 minutes of screen time in the 2 movies, I would bet. And less than 31 minutes of action is in these 2 movies as well. Especially in the second one. There's just some grainy 8mm footage of him grabbing the kids and then like sort of like shots like some sort of mutilation. And like sure, like, oh, it's on 8mm film. That's awesome. But like, no. It switches for a second, you're like, oh, cool, but that's it. If nothing cool is happening, and it's dark so you can't really see anything, then like obviously it's scary, and that's why he's grabbing them at night and whatever. But I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me if nothing's actually happening with the grainier film. It looks cool, but it's boring and looks cool. Doesn't, for those few seconds, is fine. I mean, it isn't fine. It's bad. And the closing sequence was the best part, but I hope that there was enough to actually end this franchise for good. Yeah, I'm not even, after the first one, I was like, I just want to see the grabber in action. I'm not even going to say after this one that I just want to see the grabber in action. I do. If there's a movie, if the next one's called Black Phone 3 Grabber in Action, I'll be there. But I doubt that that's going to be the case, and so I'm not even going to wish for it, because if they make a Black Phone 3, he'll probably just like pop up in a couple of dreams and then show up and almost get him at the end. And then Ethan Hawke will collect $14 million for 14 minutes of work total. He just wears a mask. Is it even him? He might just do voice work. Good for him if he does. Shout out to Ethan Hawke. I love Ethan Hawke. This is no skin off his sack. This is all on, I guess, Scott Derrickson, buddy. Get your head out of your keister. Number 55. I have it messed up because of the numbers. I don't know where to go here. It's like a draft. Like I listed this 4 days ago, and even when I was doing it 3 days ago, whatever, the days messed me up. But even when I was doing it then, I was tinkering with it. Number 56, Black Phone 2. Number 55, House of Dynamite, directed by Catherine Bigelow, and another one of those Oscar-y movies, or early Oscar-y movies, because Catherine Bigelow was an Oscar-y machine earlier on in her career. I think I might have just said, completely contradicted myself. I'm completely trashed. But she made, oh my God. Maybe I am trashed. I can't think of that movie. The Hurt Locker. She made Zero Dark 30. And then she made Detroit. Is that what it was called? Then is that it? It's been 8 years since she made a movie. And then she came back with a Netflix movie. And it just felt like we watched the same boring story for 40 minutes. And nothing happens. You just kind of go in circles. And thank God it was a Netflix movie, because it's a perfect Netflix movie. I guess not thank God, but it is just a perfect Netflix movie. You put it on, and this is a shot at the movie. You check your phone a couple times because it's boring. And you can do that because you're just hanging out at home and you're not worried about people behind you or next to you at the movie theater. You can go on your phone, and if you scroll past like LeBron highlights, you can watch them just for like a few seconds because the movie is on. You can't watch them louder than the movie, but you can listen to the LeBron highlights for like 5 seconds. Number 55 was the House of Dynamite. It should have been called The House of Dynamite too. I didn't just like House. I like when movies have the at the start. It's a incredible nitpick, but I'm only a man. Number 54 will go Final Destination Bloodlines. Just because that first scene is the only reason I moved it up 3 spots. That first scene is so sick. As I think about the rest of the movie, it gets way too up its own ass. It really just tries. It loves lore. Horror movies that love lore are the worst thing in the world. That's why I'm afraid of Terrifier 4. Ooh, does that have worst movie ever potential? I think it does. I don't think it's going to be the worst movie ever. I'm still excited for it, and I think it's going to be good. But I think it does have, like, worst movie ever potential because it loves lore. But this is not about Terrifier 4. This is about Final Destination Bloodlines, and we're not even going to talk about how it kind of doesn't even go off the rails. It just really tries to do something when it really isn't. Like I said, movies that try to be a 7 out of 10, but are just a 3 or 4 out of 10, and should have just tried to be a 5 out of 10, are like, you got to know what you are. The most important thing a movie can do is know what it is. I say the most important thing a movie can be or do a lot and have a different solution, but I truly think that's the answer. You got to know how good you actually are. It's like an NBA player, like, you have to know your role. Like, Peyton Pritchard's not going out there when Tatum's healthy and Brown's healthy, and when Porzingis was there, and he's not like, all right, I'm the guy, I'm taking 22 shots. He waited for Porzingis to be gone, Tatum to be hurt, and Derek White to not be so great to get the opportunity. And when you're making Final Destination Bloodlines, you really can't try to make this grand, deep horror movie. You just got to make something stupid. Like when Peyton Pritchard was just 6-man chucking up half-court shots. You just got to chuck up the half-court shots if you're making Final Destination Bloodlines. I try to be Bill Simmons sometimes, and I think that might have been my best bet yet. Number 53, I'm going to tinker with this here. Number 53, Hamnet, directed by Chloe Zhao, starring Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal, and I can never think of his first name. And the Jupe boys. There's brothers with the last name Jupe. Jebediah Jupe, maybe? I saw this at the Landmark Cinema in Cambridge the day before Thanksgiving, and there wasn't that bad of traffic. I thought it was going to be worse. But it stunk. I thought the movie completely stunk. I already went on about this movie for like 20 minutes, but it was just not a great experience. I sat in an old lady's handicap seat before the movie started, and I had to get up as the movie was starting, but that does not mean that the movie was good. It was just, I still got locked in for the movie. I still was so excited for the movie because, I was very excited because it was supposed to be a crier. It was supposed to be the crier to end all criers of the year, but it wasn't at all. And I even will try to, like, if, like, there was maybe the scene where Hamnet, the titular character, not even spoilers, when he dies, that's what the movie's about. I was trying to get him out there because I could feel him coming. So I was like, all right, but no, there was just no crying to be had at Hamnet. And the whole ending sequence, everyone just hyped up the Globe Theater. Like, oh, wait till the Globe sees that whole Globe Theater sequence. It does look good. I hate saying a movie looks good while saying how bad it is, even though that is an accomplishment and a feat as well, and half the battle, I guess, making it look great. But still, the fact that the movie wasn't compelling, and the fact the whole Globe Theater sequence was, in my opinion, silly, including the lead up and the actual execution. I thought the whole thing sucked ass. I mean, that's why I put it where it was behind the 2 movies that I just slid it behind. Even the 3 movies I just slid it behind. Yeah. And I'm not going to crinkle it up. I crinkled up all the papers last time and threw them away. And so I had to reprint them, but I'm not going to do that this time because I'm probably going to have to redo this video tomorrow. Moving on. I almost forgot a number. Number 52, Anaconda. Still don't know who directed it, but I did this a couple days ago, and it's a fun movie. It might try to be a 6 out of 10, and it's a 3 out of 10, and that's breaking a rule of mine. It might even just be a 2 out of 10. Anyway, but it knows it's stupid. It doesn't try to get too sappy at the end, and it has a few laughs along the way. And it's nice to see Paul Rudd being funny. It's nice to see Steve Zahn being funny, and it's nice to see Jack Black toned down. And if we could get, I'm not even picky, we don't need 12 dumb comedies a year, but if we could get 6 dumb comedies a year, I would be a happy dumb camper. How many other dumb comedies are even on here? 1, 2, and one of them's a baby movie. 3, 4. Oh, it's actually a good amount. Did we get 6 dumb comedies this year? So we have Anaconda. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's a good amount of dumb comedies. Dumb comedies are back. Anyway. Number 51. Regretting You. I know I have a pimple. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's clear enough, but I just want to get ahead of it 40 minutes into the video. I know everyone's been laughing, and there's probably going to be people. I don't want to see it in the comments. I will scrub the comments. But luckily, my mustache is barely enough where it's covering it up. But it's like right at the break there. And it's bad. And I almost put the patch over it, but I forgot. Anyway. Just wanted to get a statement out there. But we're focusing on the next game. We just want to play football. Number 51, Regretting You, starring Allison Williams, Dave Franco, McKenna Grace, and the kid from Black Phone 2. What was his name? I don't know what his name is. Yeah, I already did this movie, but it's fun. Simmons said in his last movie, Allison Williams season tickets, and I'm right there next to him. Courtside. She's just one of the most talented actors in Hollywood. Like, comedically especially. In this movie, it isn't a comedy, but, like, the fact that she's so good comedically, I feel like she almost, like, knows what she's doing. I don't think everyone does. The kids are playing it dead serious, as they should, and you can expect from young actors in a dumb movie, and that's necessary for the dumb movie to work. But Dave Franco's playing it so serious, and it feels like Allison Williams is too, but, like, she's hamming it up enough. And I don't know, I'm just a complete Allison Williams homer, so maybe that's why I'm maybe making excuses for her being in a terrible, terrible movie. But it felt like she was at least having a good time, and I had a good time when I saw the movie. It's 51, but it could have been top 10 easily. Number 50. Who directed it? Gareth Edwards, did he? I think he did. Gareth Edwards' Jurassic World Rebirth. This should have been called Jurassic Park Rebirth. It really should have. When they rebooted this franchise, I was like, oh, nice. They're going to go back to Jurassic Park. Because why stick with Jurassic World? If you're going back to Jurassic Park, it's almost like, not untapped IP, but it's untapped reboot IP at the, like, brand name wise. So, like, you should have just so they should have just gone for Jurassic Park Rebirth and then rolled. Because people have a bad taste in their mouth from Jurassic World, but it made $1 billion. Anyway, this movie I enjoyed more than most, and I can understand why people hated it. I can understand why it's just another dumb reboot franchise slop, but to me it's not exactly slop. Gareth Edwards is a really good director. I couldn't think of if he actually made it, but I'm pretty sure he did at this point. He's a really good director. And I'm a sucker for people going onto an island looking for dinosaurs, seeing dinosaurs, being amazed by the dinosaurs, and the soft violin coming in, the theme coming in softly. And when you can get a scene of them like hugging the like the dinosaur's leg. You got it in this one. It's the best. I love the Jurassic Park movies. Like I love Jurassic Park, and I really like Jurassic World. I love one of these 7 movies, but Jurassic Park is so good, and what Steven Spielberg did there is just so, dare I say, incredible. I actually think Jurassic Park is a good movie. That the fact that like people scraping the barrel off of it and doing a decent job quality-wise, but people scraping the barrel of it still has magic just because it reminds you of how good that movie is, I think. I don't know. Is that anything? Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm fucking retarded. Maybe I'm just goddamn mess up. Can't do anything right. Now, number 49, The Phoenician Scheme, directed by Wes Anderson, starring Benicio del Toro, Michael Cera, and a whole other band of Wes Anderson guys. And I think it's just like a Wes Anderson movie, and I'm just kind of all set. I'm not all set with Wes Anderson. It's just another boring Wes Anderson movie, as it was the French Dispatch. Last year, 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, not last year, I loved Asteroid City. I really did. It was one of the best movies of the year. It was one of his best movies, and it felt like a return to form. So for this one, I was excited. That's not a new guy for him. It isn't. But it's a new leading man, and it's just like an exciting, and it's supposed to be like a caper, espionage, thriller sort of, and it felt like there was going to be more action, like a Grand Budapest Hotel almost. But it just ended up being really boring, and it was everything that a Wes Anderson hater says Wes Anderson movies are, where it's just like kind of feels like the most important part of every scene is the fact that it's symmetrical and that what's happening is in the center of the shot. And it didn't do anything for me at all. In fact, how about that? Number 48, I almost bumped movies up, but I'm not going to. Number 48, Now You See Me, Now You Don't, directed by, I think, the guy who made Now You See Me 2. I already did the review on this, but it's a super fun movie. It really is. These movies know what they are. They're having a damn good time robbing people, the bad guys getting the best of them, constantly bouncing back and defeating their enemies. And that's all I want from the Horsemen. The fact that the Horsemen cannot keep on doing it again is why I keep on going back. And it's like the Fast and the Furious almost, where I wish we could have 11 of these. Maybe Vin Diesel should bring them in and try to like leech off of that, even though they only make like $160 million worldwide. But they're almost similar to the Fast and the Furious franchise, where it's like, I don't need these movies to make sense at all. I don't need them to have any logic. I don't need them to be good. I just want there to be exciting things happening, and for there to be maybe some switcheroos. And like I said, in the end, for them to best their enemies once and for all, and for them to somehow pull it off. That's just what all these movies are about. Like, oh my God, the Horsemen did it again. And yeah, I'm a sucker for it. If you don't like these kinds of movies, I just think you're an asshole. If you don't like the Now You See Me movies, I think you're just a prick. I think it's entirely on you. Number 47, The Running Man, directed by Edgar Wright, starring Glenn Powell and William H. Macy. I'll give him the only credit. Jeff Bridges. No, not Jeff Bridges. Josh Brolin as well. I've been mixing them up lately because of Wake Up Dead Man. Good movie. I had high hopes. The movie that dawned the channel, the first ever review. When you're at the 99, 10 years from now, and people ask what the first ever Zach Popcorn review was, you'll know. You're one of the first, you're here from the start. You'll know that the answer was The Running Man. And you'll know that, and when they ask at the expert night at the 99, when they had that, what number it came in at the year-end rankings, you'll know it was number 47 as well. And it did something for me in the theater, but I might never, ever rewatch this movie for the rest of my life. I love Glenn Powell. It was a good movie to see in the theater, but, I mean, it doesn't have any staying power. It doesn't have any substance to it. When you kind of thought that it would, and it doesn't have any memorable moments at all. It's like already the 7th or 8th best Glenn Powell movie, I would guess. And I haven't seen all of his stuff, but from what I've seen, it's probably the 5th or 6th best Glenn Powell movie. Top Gun Maverick, Everybody Wants Him, Hitman, Anyone But You. That puts it at 5th already. I gotta see that Zoe Deutsch Netflix one. I like Zoe Deutsch. Anyway, that puts it at 5th already, and I haven't even seen all this stuff. I feel like I'm missing something. Anyway. Yeah, just not a great movie. Not a great movie. I wish it was. I had a lot of high hopes for it. I had fun when I saw it, but like I said, I will never watch it like at home. I'll be like, oh, let's throw on The Running Man. What do you say? I would say to myself. Number 46. Number 46, directed by Alex Garland and some, I'm sure, psychotic war veteran. It was co-directed by a veteran. Warfare, which was about just like active duty. I've seen all these movies at Kingston. We're keeping the Kingston train rolling. I don't know why I'm holding it like this. This is my mom's mug. It's a really nice mug. It's a tea mug. Number 46, Warfare, which I had high hopes for, actually. I will say. I liked Civil War a good amount. I like Civil War, I think, more than most, even though I like Civil War like the middle of the pack, actually. I lied. I thought it was well made. There was some dumb line, like a lot of nitpick lines, dumb lines, but I mean, I enjoyed it. It was kind of on the nose at times. I enjoyed it. There was good performances. I think Alex Garland's a good director. He made Men. I still think he's a good director. And Warfare. Warfare's well directed. But that's kind of almost all it is. For $100,000, even walking out of the theater, I don't know if I could have told you any characters' names. It's not that kind of movie where you will really feel connected to any characters. It drops you in before like guys really go into like not. I guess it just kind of drops you into active duty, like them running a mission. You see them hanging out before the mission, and then it drops you right into the mission, and it's cool. I almost think the first like 40 minutes is the first like 40 minutes is cooler, and it's intense. But I haven't rewatched it. I haven't really thought about it since. I thought it came out last year. But it's well made, and like I said, it's intense, but there's not much substance to it really. Like it's people almost dying, obviously, but I mean, war is crazy. Can you believe it? Did you believe that fucked up stuff happens at war? Number 45, Song Sung Blue, better movie. Directed by Craig Brewer. Saw this at Kingston as well with my folks. Directed by Craig. Was it Brewer or Brewster? Doesn't matter. Starring Kate Hudson and Hugh Jackman and Michael Imperioli. Yay! So funny that he's in this. So goddamn funny. Playing a Buddy Holly impersonator. It works for me. This movie completely works for me. It's stupid to a degree. I guess I just think it's stupid, but I still get a kick out of it. And I feel like it kind of knows it's silly with the impersonators at the start. It kind of winks at the air, kind of pokes fun of the impersonator world at the start with the Elvis guy. And then when it tries to get emotional, it doesn't lose me, but it kind of goes over the top. But overall, it doesn't lose me too much, and it got like a half a cry out of me, I believe. And Kate Hudson's performance was really good, and it's nice. It was nice for Hugh Jackman to be singing again. It's like he found his smile. He's free of the Ryan Reynolds vortex. What a disaster that was. I hate that friendship so much. I hate Ryan Reynolds. The worst, just like a destructive human being. He really is. Like everyone that he goes near, he completely ruins. Number 44, The Naked Gun, directed by, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, Akiva Schaffer, I believe, one of the Lonely Island guys. Written by, I mean, it doesn't matter who it's written by. Starring Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. It was funny. It was a funny movie. It wasn't, I mean, it's stupid to say it wasn't as funny as the original, obviously. Thanks, man. But yeah, it still works for me. It still was funny. I had high hopes going into it, and it basically just met those expectations. It was as funny as it was slightly less funny than I was hoping, but that was fine. It never tries to get emotional, obviously, and it works. I mean, people who don't like it, I guess it's just not for you. It's stupid comedy. It's dumb comedy. When you hear they're rebooting The Naked Gun, it makes you clutch your pearl a little bit. When I saw that one of the Lonely Island fellows was directing it, I had high hopes, and the guy who actually directed the good movies of the bunch. So that was exciting to hear, and it was a good enough movie. Liam Neeson was good casting. Seth MacFarlane having his fingerprints on it was good too. Ted Season 2, we'll be recapping that all along the way. Yeah, this is a good movie. I don't know how many movies. I mean, a lot of these lower movies I haven't obviously gone back and watched. Anyway. Number 43, The Ballad of Wallace Island, starring Carey Mulligan. Who's the guy? Who's the other guy? Doesn't matter. Good movie. Sappy movie. Good schlup fest. I had high hopes for it. I thought I was going to cry my freaking eyes out at it. Cried a little bit. Not much. Saw this at Loring Hall. One of the best theaters in the world. It really is. Just like when you're in there, it's like movies matter when you're in there. It's like it's just the best. It's one of the best environments. Even like the whole going in there. There's like the whole parking, the walk-in, the clientele. It's all just old folks most of the time. I haven't been in a while. It's tough. It's an unemployed man's dream, Loring Hall. I might have saw this when I was unemployed. Anyway, the Ballad of Wallace Island was awesome. No, I almost just lied there. Why did I almost just say? I almost said it was awesome. I was on such a Loring Hall high. It was pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I got a decent kick out of it, but why did I almost lie and say it was awesome? Number 42, another movie I had high hopes for, but I guess I'll lie and say, yeah, dude, it was awesome. Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17, starring Robert Pattinson and Mark Ruffalo, Toni Collette. I don't know the woman's name. The other woman's the co-star. Anyway, his follow-up to Parasite, Bong Joon-ho. And I mean, Robert Pattinson in like a movie where he plays clones of himself, directed by Bong Joon-ho. That's like, holy smokes, holy shnikes material, I'll even say. And it was just meh. Even I could see how people really didn't like it. But I liked it enough, and I'm not giving up the Bong Joon-ho season tickets yet. No, there's really even no premise there. His next movie is a horror movie where he got John Carpenter to write the score. Personally asked him, and he said yes. I can't wait for that. Is there anyone in the cast for that out yet? I'm trying to do this in one like constant recording, but so I won't look it up, but we'll see. Yeah, Mickey 17, completely carried, I guess, by good directing and obviously by Bong Joon-ho, and then just incredible Pattinson. He's the best. He's doing silly voices, which Robert Pattinson doing silly voices. Not only do I have season tickets to that, I have like a whole section rented out just for me to hang out for that. I love Robert Pattinson, and I love his silly voices. He's the best voice doer in Hollywood. Easily, even. I mean, I'm sure there's others. Whoever does it's always like whoever does Bugs Bunny does all the voices. What's that guy's name? I knew his name recently too. It's like his movie's coming up later in the list, but I can like see it in my mind. Number 41, Die My Love, directed by Lynn Ramsey and starring Jennifer Lawrence and, back-to-back Robert Pattinson. What? Are those his only 2 movies of the year? I would almost hope so. That'd be good. He's got 3 or 4 next year. You can't get too much Pattinson. You can't get too much Pattinson, folks. Yeah, that's it for him. Not the best year for him. Well, good performances, but just like not the greatest movie. It's not for me. I can see why people like it. I can see the target audience, but it's just really not for me. It was well made. Jennifer Lawrence is incredible. Robert Pattinson is really good. It just wasn't the most engaging movie for me, and I was bored. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Kind of rude. Number 40, Benny Safdie's The Smashing Machine, starring The Rock and Emily Blunt, and I think that's it. I think they were the only 2 people in the movie. Yeah, I didn't have the highest hopes for this. My only hopes for this, I was excited for this. I was excited to see and get eyes for this. I'm trying to think of what the comparison would be. I don't know. I'm not going to try to make a terrible comparison. Hasn't stopped me before. But I was excited to see Dwayne Johnson, not The Rock. I was excited to see Dwayne Johnson, the actor from Hollywood, put on his big boy pants and give us an Academy Award worthy performance, which is what this entire vehicle was all about. This is what this was for. This movie, he seeked out Benny Safdie. The movie, The Rock got the rights first, and then they got Benny Safdie to direct it. And this movie's entirely for The Rock to win an Oscar or get a nomination. And he's pretty good in it. It's like good casting. It's not the most daring performance, especially at least even of the year, especially in a Safdie movie, but even in this one. But I mean, he has chops. The Rock shows something. He gives us enough to get the next, enough for the Golden Globe nomination, not the Oscar nomination, enough to like start the next game. If like the QB, if the a backup QB coming in, he showed us enough to get to play week 7. But I just wasn't the most. I wasn't very compelled. Benny Safdie's direction is the MVP of the movie. There's a lot of really good stuff. Like he hides the camera in the house when they're filming the scenes. Like he hides it within the cabinets, and it's like film documentary style. It's based on a documentary. Hearing that afterwards, it's fairly obvious, honestly, because the movie's kind of boring and it feels just very like straightforward. Like it almost just feels like a kind of. It feels like an eventful regular life. Like it doesn't feel like a movie worthy life. They should have made stuff up, honestly. Like Marty Supreme took a real guy and made stuff up enough for it to be a fake guy. You shouldn't have done that here, but you should have maybe not made stuff up, but taken some creative liberties or gone for a completely different angle and focused on the other mark instead of this one. Because that still would have been very, very cool. The Rock supporting actor campaign. That would have been a better. It's tougher sledding this year, that category. But that would have been, I think, a better like launch for him. Like, oh, The Rock, his first Oscar nomination in supporting makes sense. The lead, that's big boy table stuff. Was he better than like Clooney, Michael B. Jordan, even Jeremy Allen White will be the question. And the answer to 2 out of 3 is no. But will he be one of the top 5 of the year come January 21st, I think? No, he definitely won't be. Number 39, Surat, a Moroccan picture that I saw at the Rattle at the IFF Boston's Fall Focus, the first movie on the list that I saw there. And that was just the best experience. It's they do a festival in April where they premiere a lot of indie movies, and then in the fall they do 2 like week-long stretches where they'll play Oscar contenders, like bigger Oscar contenders, but indies, like a lot of foreign stuff and a lot of like just like the lower budget Oscar contenders. And it's awesome. You get to see them way before their release. You get to see them in a packed house. A lot of movies that you really won't even be able to see in theaters unless you want to drive hours on a random Tuesday night to like Framingham or something. But I mean, that's just from my perspective. As far unless you want to drive 2 hours on a random Tuesday night to see them, you won't really have a chance to see them on the big screen. So it's a great opportunity and it's a great event and a great experience. And yeah, it was the best it was the best movie experience of my life. I think the week of like seeing these movies, it really was just awesome. And the weakest of the bunch was Surat. I was excited for this movie because the consensus was just wait. Like I would hear people like when I listened to a lot of Oscar predictions, or I would in like the fall around the festivals, like late August, early September. I saw this late October. But when I would hear people talk about Surat, they would just be like, I almost don't want to say anything about it, but like just wait and try to see it in a packed house with as many people as possible and try not to find out anything about it. And I thought, well, the second part's easy because I don't know anything about the movie, but I'm not going to be able to see this movie in a packed house. And then I could see it in a packed house. And seeing it in a packed house was insane. Absolutely bonkers. I don't want to give anything away just because it's that crazy. I was flat out telling people what happened at the end. I had to tell people and like describe the movie to the end to them, like the ending of the movie to them. But like, there's really no way, unless I flat out described it, to give it away. Like, there's no way to see it coming. I sort of suggest seeing the movie and watching it for like, I don't even want to say it has how many moments, for the moment, and then like the S in parentheses that Lee shot, like the gasps, the silence, like the collective like jumping in seats, not out of seats and standing up, like the squirming. Oh my god, I've never heard people so just like flabbergasted at a movie, including myself. It was crazy. I didn't like the movie, I should say, I was in for the first 20 minutes, and then I was out for the next 45, and then I was in for the next 10, and then I was out for the next 25, and then I was all in for the last 10. It was completely insane. Number 38, Oh Hi, which which you can find on Netflix. I don't think it was directed by Molly Gordon. I don't know if it was even written by her. I don't want to give her too much credit. I'll give her the screenwriting credit, even though I don't even think she did. But starring Molly Gordon and Logan Lerman, is that the chap's name? I think he plays Percy Jackson in the originals. He plays someone in something before this. But in this one, he plays the boyfriend. And it's about Molly Gordon playing a girl or a woman who goes on a trip with her, what she thinks is her boyfriend. And then he's just like, hey, whoa, we're not, hey, come on, let's just keep this casual, right? And she goes crazy and ties him to the bed for the weekend. And it's not even really a horror. It's kind of like a comedy thriller. More of a comedy. And I think it's so funny. I really do. I think it's a great comedy. I have it at 38. Should probably be higher. But I got a huge kick out of it. I was laughing out loud in the theater. I'm a Molly Gordon guy. She's terrible in The Bear. The Bear's a terrible show, so pretty much everyone's terrible in that show besides Cousin. Eben Moss Bach, I think is his name. I gotta get that name down, even though nobody's calling him that. What a prick I would sound like being like, oh yeah, dude, Eben Moss Bach. I'd sound like more of a bear head than just calling him Cousin. Anyway. I mean, it's The Bear. Everyone's terrible in that show. But she's really good in Shiva Baby. She's really good in something else I've seen. And then she's great in this. She carries the movie. It's like a Molly Gordon showcase. And I'm all in for the 100 minutes. She takes you on the ride, and it's super funny. Oh, Theater Camp. She's great in Theater Camp. Yeah, I have seasons. I do have Molly Gordon seasons. Halfway point, I'm gonna do the old stuff, and then we're gonna take a break. Then I'm gonna do the old movies I saw, but we're not there yet. What a tease that is! I'm good at this. But number 37, The Life of Chuck. The Life of Chuck, directed by Mike Flanagan, starring, I almost called him Todd Hiddleston. He never would have come on. Tom Hiddleston and Mark Hamill and Jacob Tremblay. He's gonna come on the show soon. This movie was another one of those movies that had all the Oscar buzz a year ago. But I was not entirely convinced because it had a June release date. It premiered at I have the Marty Supreme Ball as like you see the lighting now. I have this as the on top of the lampshade. And it really does just make the whole thing softer. But I feel like it's going to overheat. But it's not even warm at all. So I guess it won't. Yeah, The Life of Chuck is just a good schlup fest, and it's for me. But it still isn't. It's for me, and it still came in at number 37. So that should kind of tell you all you need to know. If you like a schlup fest, watch it. It's right. If it's up, if you think it's up, if you like a schlup fest, this is right up your alley, and you should check it out. If you don't, if you think like sappy movies are stupid and you roll your eyes at them, then you'll hate the movie. And this movie won the Toronto Film Festival last year, which is usually like a strong awards indicator. Second and third place was Honora and Amelia Perez, which were the two movies that held like the top spot on the rankings throughout the season. So it kind of felt like, oh, next year Life of Chuck's going to be like, not a buzzsaw, but it's going to be a major player. But no, it came out in June. And Mike Flanagan's never had a big contender before, ever. And Tom Hiddleston hasn't either. And it's a Stephen King adaptation. It's not a horror movie. Like I said, it's Schlupfest. But I mean, anyone who was predicting it was almost like, get your head out of your ass, man. Number 36. Is this the halfway point? Or should I do 30? No, we'll do it here. This is a good one. Number 36 is... Oh, that's weird. My haircut. I don't want to do the haircut thing. Number 36 is not my haircut. That would be number 71, my new haircut. I think I have to do one this weekend. Maybe I'll commission my mom. Number 36, James Gunn's Superman, starring David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, and Skylar Gisondo. Another guest that'll come on in 2026. And it's a really good movie. People get on their high horse and try to rip on it, but I mean, I guess it's almost a schlup fest. It's like it's a schluppy superhero movie, I would say. But yeah, it's like David Corenswet's really good as Superman, and James Gunn makes really good superhero movies. It's that simple. Like every single one of his superhero movies, he's only made 4, right? I guess he has a 5th one coming out, which I don't have the highest hopes of, but every single one he's made thus far has been at least good and at the highest, like, great comic book movie. The first two Guardians movies are, I said movies back to back. The first two Guardians movies are just, they're great comic book movies. And this is another, dare I say, great comic book movie. I really do like it. It just works for me. All the schlup stuff at the end does work for me. It can get a little boring-ish because, like, it's Superman. Obviously, he's going to get out at the end. But it's early Superman. The fact that it's a rookie Superman and makes it, like, that much better. Nicholas Holt's really good. Rachel Brosnahan's great. Skylar Gisondo is the clear MVP, like a 40-point triple-double off the bench. And I think one of the true rising stars in Hollywood, anyway. And it just looks great. And it looks really good. The world itself looks really good. Like, the Metropolis that is James Gunn's created is interesting. And you hang out in the city a lot, which is super important for comic book movies, I think. And that goes, in my opinion, and that goes under the radar, is seeing the hero saving the day in his city and, like, representing something. All the, like, Avengers movies and all the superhero movies now is about, like, saving, like, oh, not just the world, but the multiverse as a whole. Like, no. I just want to see, or I guess that's almost that is what this was too, but I just want to see them fighting. Like, they're just fighting for their city, and the city's, like, watching. It's like Spider-Man in New York, Batman in Gotham. I guess that's kind of it. And then Superman in Metropolis. You get the landscape, and it feels like you're in a world, as opposed to, like, oh yeah, this is just Earth. Like, Captain America's fighting to save, like, America and the planet and Earth. But that first Captain America, the flashback, it felt like it was a well-built world. And that's what they do here. But the way it's shot just looks weird. Like, the color, I feel like an asshole even saying it, and, like, but, like, no, this is Zach Popcorn, for God's sakes. This color grading is just weird and stupid. It's like a weird choice. I don't even know how exactly that whole all that shit works, but I mean, it just kind of, like, the colors do kind of just look weird and, like, rubbery in a way, like, off. It looks like there's, like, slime on the camera in a way. Yeah, I'm gonna use the restroom, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do the top 35, and we're gonna do the 15 old movies that I saw too. Yeah, I'll be right back. Folks, welcome back. We're keeping it rolling. Two housekeeping notes. I put on a jacket. It's cold. I feel like the heat's not on the house, even though it's, like 5 degrees outside right now. The heat has to be on. I heard it not long ago. And I put one of these on because we gotta get ahead of it early. And I don't want to hear from the trolls. I don't want to hear from the internet trolls. I'm not trying to hide it. I don't try to hide anything from you guys. I hope you know that. We're gonna come back from the break with our old movies. All the old movies I saw in theaters last year. Our fallen soldiers. That, our old favorites. I gotta put my phone on Do Not Disturb. That I went back and saw in the theaters. A lot of them at Kingston. Again, Kingston's just the best, whatever. I saw 16 of them. I counted them up, and I ranked them 16-1 for, not my favorite, but the experience of the actual going to and experiencing the movie. The whole theatrical experience. Number 16, Hellraiser. I think I saw it in January. I saw it in Kingston. Don't have much love for the movie. Kind of a dumb, old horror movie. But I mean, it's a good enough movie. Had a good time. All these were good to great experiences. Even though it's the 16, the lowest, doesn't mean we didn't have a damn good time when we went to see Hellraiser on the big screen. Number 15, Scream. The horror movies. I like horror movies. I'm a horror hound. What's in there? Anyway. Number 15, Scream. I saw this in October, I think early October, and I love Scream. It was a packed house. Nobody else was laughing. It wasn't like the best Scream experience because, like, if the whole place was laughing at all, like, the funny lines, like when Stu's like, oh, my parents are gonna kill me, man. Nobody else. I burst out laughing. Nobody else. So much as Snickers, I'd assume. Number 14, Love Actually. Great experience. These were all great experiences. I saw this at the Alamo Draft House. Maybe if it was a different theater, I would have enjoyed it slightly more. Anyway, I'm going to pause this for 1 second. Yeah, we loved actually. We saw it at the Draft House. Didn't love it at the Draft. Don't love the Draft House. It was at a different theater. Might have been flat. No, might be higher on the list. Loved the movie. Great experience. We love Actually. Number 13, keeping it at the Alamo Draft House. Another great movie. Deflated by a terrible theater. Is Vertigo. What's there to say? The fact that a guy ordered nachos and a burger in front of me throughout the movie. Nachos to start. Burger second. Didn't even look nor smell good. But big man had to have a 2-course meal during the Alfred Hitchcock hour and 40-minute movie. Impressive. When I'm having Jimmy Stewart movies, I too want to have usually about 2,400 calories throughout the movie. When I'm having Wonderful Life, I try to put it down. When I'm watching Rear Window, it's I usually go mozzarella sticks, buffalo chicken sandwich. I usually don't go nachos burger, but that's a good call for Vertigo. What a disgusting human being, and what a disgusting establishment. The fact you can even do that, you can't blame the guy. You can't blame the monkeys for behaving the way that evolution told them to. I don't know. Number 12, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I saw at Kingston as well. Great movie. I've seen it a few times. It's not the most. I went and saw it by myself on a Sunday and I might have lied. It might have been a Tuesday or a Thursday. It's not important. Had a good time. Great movie. Nicholson's best. One of the best performances ever. It is one of the best performances ever, but I might like The Shining more. I feel like I can never get these things to stay on right. It's supposed to be invisible, but having the mustache, badass mustache, kind of makes it super visible and makes it pop. Well, I don't have a number 11. Oh, 11, Dog Day Afternoon. Similar. I think I saw them in the same week. And I mean, just two great movies that I've seen a bunch of times before at home already. And I went and saw it in a not so full theater and saw them by myself and had a damn good time. Number 10, this is Spinal Tap. It's higher than the other two. I mean, the other two were much better, but this is the first time I saw this movie. And I saw this movie also at Kingston, but I saw this movie with my dad and my younger sister. And I was shocked that my younger sister came to the 41-year-old movie. I don't think she was told it was the 41-year-old movie. But I saw her even looking up Spinal Tap runtime at one point. Like, just to see how long until the movie is over. Because I was the only one of the three of us laughing. And I leaned over and I told her, like, it'll be over at like 8:30. And she was like, thank God. And, yeah, it was just very funny. I think going to a movie where you're the only one that finds it funny and no one else enjoys it is a funny experience. And I like Spinal Tap. I never saw the second one. I'm sorry. I guess I have no point in apologizing to Rob Reiner. He won't see it. Jesus. Number 9. I don't have a 9. No, I do. Jesus Christ. Clueless. Awesome. First time I saw it. The ones first time watches are a little higher just because first time watch on the big screen is like, that makes you love a movie that much more, especially when it's great. And Clueless is great. I watched half of it the other night. Last night, in fact. And Alicia Silverstone, it's just like one of the great performances in a comedy movie, especially by a woman. There's not like a lot of, that's like honestly because of opportunity and also probably because of me watching more male comedies, but it's one of the great comedic performances. It's just a perfect movie. Like every single, it's so self-aware. It knows what it is. It completely knocks out of the park what it's trying to be. And it's a superstar performance from Alicia Silverstone. Number 8. It's a Wonderful Life at the Brattle. Does it get any better than that? It's a Wonderful Life at the Brattle. I mean, I love the movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I was going to do a video on it, but I was seeing 2 other movies, I think, back-to-back days, or I was putting out another one. I don't know. I don't know why I care about that kind of stuff. I should just put them out all the time. I may have been busy, too. I may have been super busy. But, yeah, I love this movie. I love the Brattle, and it was just a great experience. It was my first time seeing it in the theaters. It was 35 millimeter, which, I mean, means something to 1% of people, but it was cool. I think that is cool. I think it's cool seeing something on 70 or 35 millimeter, but I'm not the kind of person that, like, when the guy who's doing the pre-show on the microphone says, and we're showing this on 35 millimeter, I'm not one of the two people that's like, yeah, or the woo, has to clap, like, just to show everyone in the crowd that I know and appreciate it. Like, where we all appreciate it, we're all watching it, and it looks nice, but we don't have to, it's not a competition to see who likes 35 millimeter film the most, and it almost feels like that when you go to these movies. Number 7, not technically in a theater at all, not at a movie theater establishment of any sorts, but on a battleship. What? That's right. The Ghost Ship and the Fog double feature on the USS Carmichael or whatever. I don't know. A battleship in the Quincy shipyard. Again, terrible performance. I mean, not the Hingham shipyard, the shopping plaza. I don't think they have battleships there. The Quincy shipyard, whatever. But yeah, they showed, it's supposed to be haunted, whatever the haunted one in Massachusetts is. Anyway, they showed Ghost Ship and the Fog, back-to-back double feature outside in, it had to be October, and it was so cool. It was one of the coolest experiences at seeing a movie all year. Just, it was cold, there was some fog coming in, it was crowded enough, and yeah, it was just awesome. It was cool to be on a battleship. I walked in between and before, I would just like walk around and see what was going on. It was dope. I do not use that term lightly. Number 6, Wild at Heart. I think I saw this at the Brattle. I parked somewhere weird for that movie. Like, I parked down the street. Was it the Coolidge Corner Theater? No, I think I'm pretty sure I saw this at the Brattle. And I'm pretty sure I sat in the balcony and saw this at the Brattle. Because when couple times I went to the Brattle, I went right up to the balcony. And so the first time I sat down low, it almost felt like a new theater. Anyway, awesome. First time seeing this movie, and it was just so cool. Like, it's almost like you never really seen anything like it. Like, Nick Cage just hamming it up, really. Like, the Elvis voice, like the Elvis impression, it's just so funny. It's a perfect movie, dare I say, and seeing it for the first time on the big screen just elevates it so much. It really does. I've watched it, I think, 3 or 4 times since, and I saw it in, I think, March. Or no, it was right after David Lynch died. So I think that was January. Yeah, anyway. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, I mean, Wild at Heart, turn this video off and go watch Wild at Heart, which might be free on YouTube with ads. Or did I buy it on YouTube? I always think that it's at Savers when I see Wild Things. I always grab Wild Things real quick, and I'm like, what? It just drives me nuts. It's like my white whale for finding at Savers. This and Lady Bird, which I'm seeing in theaters in mid-January. Can you believe it, folks? Kingston's showing it the best. But yeah, if any of the Zack Heads out there want to send a DVD of Lady Bird or Jesus Christ, or Wild at Heart into the show, you can come on for the review, and it'd be greatly appreciated. But you gotta send it in so I can have it. Has to be a gift. Who's the biggest Zack Head, folks? Number 5, La La Land. Maybe should be higher just because I drove 5 hours round trip for this. I saw this in Rockport, Massachusetts, which is sounds like a shipyard in its own right. I thought this was playing in Gloucester. I think it was presented by the Gloucester Cinema, I believe, but it was at some like performing arts center it wasn't even like a movie theater in Rockport. And when I was going to it, my little sister was like, "Oh, I'll come." And I was like, "Really? It's like 2 hours away." And she's like, "That's fine." And I was like, "All right, your funeral in a way," because like sitting in the car for 2 hours and it ended up being 2.5 to go see a movie. But it's one of the best movies of all time, and it was in this grand, classy hall, the Rockport Performing Arts Center, maybe, I don't know, but it's a beautiful movie and it was in a beautiful place, and it's one of my favorite movies ever, and it was one of my favorite experiences of the year. It's going to be playing this year in theaters, and I'm going to go see it a couple times, I'm sure, for the 10-year anniversary. It's just one of the best movies ever. It's my first time seeing it in theaters. This is a movie that whenever this, like going back before I actually saw it in theaters, and I search showtimes near me probably 5 times a week. Whenever I want to see a movie, that's what I'll do. I'll Google showtimes near me, and it just gives you a list of all the theaters, and you can click it, and it shows you all the movies, what time, and that's when you'll see like an old movie playing at a random theater when you're going through the list. And You can also just search, like, I'll just search like random movies, showtimes, and think like when their anniversaries are coming up, or like movies just like taking a shot in the dark. Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood showtimes. I've seen that twice in theaters, I believe, just off of searching that. Or it's been I missed it the second time, but it's been playing twice. Just think like, let me just search Once Upon a Time in Hollywood showtimes when I'm looking for a movie to see tonight and see if it's playing anytime soon. And I would do that with La La Land. I did that for like I've done that for like 2.5 years, and there would never be any luck. It never played, and that always surprised me. It's a lovable movie. People love this movie. It's an incredibly popular movie. It's not niche at all, but it never played. But one day, lo and behold, it was playing in Rockport that day, and I was like, I thought Gloucester, but anyway, and I had to do it, and it was incredible. I got to keep this moving. Number 4, Paris, Texas. I saw it at the Plymouth Cinema in Plymouth. But it's just it's at Plymouth Plantation, and it's in a museum. It's just like there's 2 conference rooms almost in a museum. One of them's bigger than the other. This one's the smaller one, and it's like 4 rows of movie theater seats and a projector screen, like you would see in an old schoolhouse. And but like the movies aren't low quality or anything. But yeah, they'll play movies They play movies all the time. It operates like a regular movie theater with these 2 screens, and they play old stuff a lot. They played Paris, Texas one time, and I was pumped. And it was me and one other guy in the theater. He was sitting front row. I was sitting like 2 rows behind him. And he left halfway in. Hour in, he got up and walked out. And I was like, huh. And after 10 minutes, he didn't come back. And I ran up and sat in his seat in the front row. Because it was a small screen. And it's like, I just wanted to fully submerge myself. I was that into the movie that I wanted to sit in the front row. And I like sitting close. And in this theater especially. And it was a great experience. Clearly, it's a beautiful movie. Again, this is one movie that I've watched 3 or 4 times. It's great, put on at night to fall asleep to over like the course of like 4 nights and just watch. Yeah, one of the greats. Number 3, Goodfellas. I saw this with my dad in Kingston, and it's just great. Goodfellas, I've seen 1,000 times, and it's up here high. So that's why? That's just because it's the best movie of all time. Maybe not, but it really is when you think about it. It's like, I think Bill Simmons said this, maybe not, it might have been Kirk Minahan, but like when you try to think of the best scene in Goodfellas, you can't, because every scene is the best scene. Every single one of them. When he's cutting up the onions in prison, when these, oh my God, Jesus Christ, in fact, I can't even think of any of them. When Henry's getting made, when they're beating up Billy Batts, when he's beating up Maury, when they just pulled off the heist and everyone bought like the suits and the car, the ending scene when he finally talks to the camera, when he's looking up at the helicopter. I mean, the Gimme Shelter, I guess montage or like the needle drop. It's just the best. It's the best movie. It really is. It's the whole opening scene, the whole opening 10, 15 minutes with young Henry is I think my favorite part of the movie. The music, like it literally, nice. That's the heat kicking on. It stitches like 4 or 5 songs together throughout that whole opening scene, and they all just work and hit perfectly. It's, oh my God, it's the best movie. And just seeing it with my dad, and it was me, my dad, and like 8 other guys in the theater, and nobody got up the entire time. Right after, it's an 8-man march. It's a 10-man march to the bathroom, because everyone's seen it 1,000 times, but you can't get up and go to the bathroom during Goodfellas, because every scene's the best scene. Because the next scene is when Tommy shoots Spider, or the next scene is when, oh shoot, I can't think of any more scenes. The next scene is when Polly's like, hey, Henry, no, I gotta let you go. The next scene is when Henry and Jimmy meet at a diner, or when Jimmy's telling Karen, no, just go down there, right down the alley. I'm okay, Jimmy, I'm okay. I don't know why she had to yell. She could have just walked away. Anyway, great Lorraine Bracco, and it's the best movie ever. Number 2, Jaws. Number 2 and 1 I saw on the same day, piece of trivia. Number 2, Jaws, I hadn't seen in full, I feel like, since I was like 8 years old. And it's just like the best movie ever. I just said that about Goodfellas, but I mean, like, Jaws is that kind of movie as well, where not every scene, like, it's not the same kind of good time movie, but it's just the fact that Spielberg was doing this so early in his career, it's such an insane achievement. And it's like it's a perfect movie, especially at the time. And I love Richard Dreyfuss so much. It's so lovable. It's a horror movie, but like it creates the community, and you love the characters so much. and it like builds a world on Martha's Vineyard. It's such an incredible feat by Steven Spielberg. It really is. Number one, first time I had ever seen Paper Moon was that day, September 3rd, I believe, this past year, 2025. And I had hardly really even heard of it. I think only because I'd known Tatum O'Neal was the youngest Oscar winner ever. She won, yeah, the youngest Oscar winner ever. But that was like all I really knew. And I saw it was playing, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess I'll go see this old black and white movie. And I cried my goddamn eyes out by the end of this thing, all throughout the last like 45 minutes even. When she's putting on the perfume, looking at the mom's picture, when she's at the end of the movie. I don't want to even give away the ending, but my grandmother was coming over, and my mom always tells me to pick a crier to watch with her. And I told her to watch Paper Moon because, I mean, that's just tight. I mean, I just cried my eyes out at it. And she asked me afterwards, she's like, what's, like, when did you cry throughout that movie, actually? Like, I don't know when you would have cried. And I was, like, typing out, like, 3 or 4 times that I was crying, that I was bawling my eyes out. And while I was typing the text, I, like, started to tear up, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this movie's insane. So I, like, just, like, erased it all. And I was like, oh, I don't know, like, the ending kind of made me tear up a little bit. But seriously, it's, like, so emotional. The relationship between the Tatum and Ryan O'Neal, the chemistry, is just such a cheat code casting of father-daughter. But, hey, there's no rules. I mean, it's cheat code against what? It's just unbelievable. And also, there was tension between the two. He was jealous as hell of her. It was probably more tension than most movie sets. I mean, not at the time, but he skipped the Oscars just to get drunk because he was pissed that his daughter was going to win and he wasn't even nominated. Good for him. Good petty move. Bitch move by her getting nominated for the Oscar at 8 years old. How much work he put in. She would even gotten the damn role if it wasn't for him. Yeah. Back to the list. Back to what we're all here for. The top 70. We're keeping it rolling, folks. I spill water on my feet every episode since I started switching to the mugs. But I think the mug's better. Number 35, Hell of a Summer, directed by Finn Wolfhard and his buddy. And I am a Finn Wolfhard guy. I am buying and doubling and tripling down my shares in real estate on Finn Wolfhard Island. People are selling like crazy with the Stranger Things finale. Who cares? It's a terrible TV show, and he's bad in a terrible TV show. Who gives a shit? He just directed and wrote a great movie, a really good movie. Sure, it premiered 2 years ago, but it came out this year, and it's a damn good time. It's one of the most fun movies, I think, of the year. It's just a stupid, goofy slasher movie for 100 minutes, and it's dumb kids hanging out at a camp while a slasher goes on. It doesn't look at the camera at all. It takes the slasher part seriously, which I think is important. Sure, there's dumb kids at dealing with it, so they don't take it, I mean, as serious as they should at the start or whatever, but there's no wink wink, nudge nudge, oh my god, this is like Scream. It's just great. And Finn Wolfhard's so funny in it. He's such a funny guy, and the fact that he wrote the movie and the guy that he wrote it with, I mean, he's just the man. He's doing a movie with Gabriel LaBelle next year, or it's filming now, where they play kids at a local who just terrorize their community doing jackass type stunts, and it's directed by the guy who he wrote and directed this movie with's brother. So I mean, I could not be more in on where his career is going post Stranger Things, and people will be like, huh, this guy's just funny as hell. He's just if he just makes dumb idiot stuff, he can be the man. The last thing I need is him making like his, I don't know, I was gonna say his what's the Jesse Eisenberg movie? Let's Go to Auschwitz one. Or his A Real Pain, but I don't think he's Jewish. But I don't like his sad, self-serious, solo directional debut. I don't need him thinking he's something he's. I mean, he could be, but I mean, just stick to the screwball comedies, man. Moving on. Number 34. Rental Family, starring Brendan Fraser, directed by Hikari, I believe. It's her name. Yeah, that's right. She is a woman. Good movie. I had high hopes. It was one of those Oscar contenders from like a year in advance, 6 months in advance, 3 months in advance, and then once it premiered, it was like, never mind. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad movie. That just means that it's not going to get the statues, and that's okay. It's completely okay, especially with a movie like Rental Family. It's sort of in the Man Called Otto school, where It's just trying to make you cry. All it wants to do is make you cry. If you cry, that's it. It wins. And it did make me cry. So it won. And I had a good enough time, and Brendan Fraser is super charming, and the cast works together. There's chemistry. There's a couple laughs. There's a lot of no shortage of smiles. And yeah, like I said, in the end, the emotional stuff works for me. And if it doesn't work for you, you should probably go get your stuff checked out. You should probably go start talking to someone. You should probably go see a psychiatrist. Number 33, Frankenstein. Frankenstein, even, I think he might have wanted it pronounced. I liked it. I liked the Elordi half more than the Elordi story more than I almost called him Del Toro himself, but the Isaac portion. But it's cool. It looks good. It looks great at times, and it looks terrible at times. All the while looking good other times. So, like, what can you really say? I guess you could say that it's just an okay movie, and that's all it is. Elordi's incredible. The script is pretty good. It's incredibly accurate adaptation of Frankenstein, but I mean, I didn't even read the book when we were supposed to in high school. Badass. But yeah, it's cool to see like a faithful adaptation of Frankenstein that isn't just like really boring. Like you jump right in. It's off to the races at the start. Anyway, yeah, I was gonna say I already did this one, but I didn't. But I don't really have much to say. It's not. I can see how people love it. I can see how people hate it. Obviously, as you can see, I can see how people are medium on it and would have it as their 33rd favorite movie of 70 of the year. Number 32, The Mastermind, directed by Kelly Reinhardt and Josh O'Connor. I saw Frankenstein at the Landmark Cinema in Cambridge, not the best theater. I didn't really dig into it earlier, but just not the best theater. I saw The Mastermind in Kingston. Did I? I did. Liked it a lot. It's a Josh O'Connor vehicle, pretty much, at least in my eyes, because you spend a lot of time with him, and I'm A-okay with that. I love Josh O'Connor, and I love a good heist movie, and sure enough, the heist is early on in the movie, but just the fact that that's kind of lurking over it all, and there's like a layer, it's like the getaway-ish. It's like a walk around heist movie, like it's dragging its feet, but it's not a dig at all. It's a compliment. Like it drags its feet and still works. Like the pacing is super slow, but like you never feel like it drags, at least in my eyes. That's apparently what this director is known for, is a slower pacing, and this is actually supposed to be one of her faster movies apparently, but it works for me, this one. It really did. I can see how it wouldn't work for people, but this one does for me. So if you want to take this outside, we can definitely just settle this like men. Number 31, Looney Tunes, The Day the Earth Blew Up. What is that guy's name who voices Bugs Bunny now? And he also voices Daffy. It's like Dan or Dana. Your dad's gonna kill me. I feel like an idiot. I feel like an absolute asshole. It's like almost a silly name. Yeah, it's a funny movie. This is a Daffy and Porky collaboration, and the chemistry between the two of them is impressive. I did not think that they would have it in them. So, like, I didn't think they'd be able to carry a movie just Daff and Pork, but they really do. You don't really ever feel like, where's Bugs? Which is what I was afraid of. I thought we were going to need Bugs to come in here, throw 4 innings of relief, clean up this mess, and try to like really carry the movie home for 25 minutes. But no, Daffy is, in a way, his name's Eric. The guy's name is Eric, the guy who voices Daffy and Bugs. Is it Eric Dante? Anyway, I feel like I have it with a D. Eric, like, anyway. Yeah, I feel like Bugs Bunny is the star of, he's not the star of the Looney Tunes, but he is the funniest, in my opinion. Bugs is the riot. But Daffy's not too far away, and he's just he's not afraid to play the fool. Bugs is a little too cool for school at times, but Daffy will always play the fool when he has to. And as will Porky, and that's why the movie works. It's two fools. They bumble around a lot. And it's awesome. I love the Looney Tunes, and we're getting Coyote vs. Acme this year, which is nice. And yeah, it's just nice to have the Looney Tunes running around and getting more work. Number 30, F1, directed by Joseph Kosinski, starring Brad Pitt, Carrie Condon, and others. Yeah, it really does work for me. I don't really see how it doesn't for most. I mean, If you're just like, it's a run of the mill sports movie, so what, and that doesn't do anything for you, then sure, whatever. I mean, it must suck to not feel anything watching this movie, but I mean, good, you do you. But I mean, it does plenty for me. It just works. I don't know why I'm going to cross my arms. But yeah, it really does just work for me. Brad Pitt gives like his best performances Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, in my opinion. He hasn't done too much, but it's like it's just a great movie star performance. It's the best movie star performance, one of the best movie star performances of the year, and it's an incredibly directed movie. Kaczynski directed Top Gun Maverick, so obviously he's a super talented guy. But this is only the second one of his movies I've seen, and he's like the premier action sequence, especially director in my eyes. This is like the racing sequences are absolutely incredible. That first scene, especially with like the fireworks, the lighting, everything looks great during the action sequences. His movies, his screenwriting, and like the stories, the scripts can be like a little not even wonky, just like straightforward and nothing crazy. He's never gonna try to reinvent the wheel or do anything overly he's not gonna be uninteresting, but he's not ever gonna go to more than like a foot outside the box. He's always on to one foot in the box, creatively. But yeah, I mean, he's an incredible director. I think he really is. These last two movies show that he's great behind the camera. There's no denying it. Number 29, Friendship, directed by someone. Yeah, starring Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd, and it's really good. It's a Tim Robinson vehicle. It's a Tim Robinson device, and I was not a Tim Robinson guy at all. I almost went into this movie to be like, I'll see what this hack has to offer. Oh, is he gonna yell again? And then by the end of it, I was like, he's yelling again. And yeah, he's just funny as hell. He really is. I'll have to go back and watch the show that he did. I think you should leave. But this movie is super funny. Paul Rudd works for me as well too. He's obviously the straight man when they're together, but it's a very funny character. It's a hilarious story. It loses itself with the tunnels, I think. It tries to be a bit more than it is. If it was just a dumb comedy for 90 minutes instead of 109, whatever it was, then I think Andrew DeYoung directed this movie. Assholes. But yeah, I think that if it didn't I don't know, I feel like it kind of, there's like 5 minutes where you're like, let's end already. And then the ending sequence completely lands on its feet. Yeah. Tim Robinson's season ticket's not quite, because I was just too late. They're too expensive at this point, and I'd have to join the wait list. But I am on the wait list, especially after Friendship. You just did something else I liked. I haven't even finished Chair Company. Number 28, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Badass. Absolutely badass. I'm running out of steam. It's so late. It's like 1:45. And we're not even in the top 25. Yeah. I mean, I love Mission Impossible. I love these movies. I watched these movies. I watched the whole franchise in like the week and a half leading up to it. I watched one a day, even two in days. Did I get three in one day? I don't know. But just, I mean, I love Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is like maybe the reason that a lot of us are here today. Not actually, but like for the movies, he's done so much in the last however many years. Even just with Top Gun Maverick, that was so important to the theaters domestically, especially, and just like getting the public to want to go back to the theaters, making the movie theaters an event. He fights so hard for the theaters. I don't know how you can't admire the guy. There's not one single thing that he's ever done that I can think that anyone would ever have a problem with it. And he's the greatest man to ever live. I don't know, maybe. And I love Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. People nitpick it for like the flashbacks and the retelling of the stories, but I mean, so what? Watch the friggin' movie. The whole submarine stuff is great. Shermel Tillman, I believe I have his name right. Incredible. Katie O'Brien, incredible. That whole submarine is just great. And the whole cast, I mean, I feel like Shea Wiggum wasn't the best in this, but I mean, Simon Pegg, Jesus Christ. I don't know, whatever. I'm losing my mind. I can't think of who plays Luther. Racist. That's a racist guy move, not being able to think of his name. I almost called him Marcellus Wallace, which would have been incredibly racist. Yeah, great movie. I love Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Yeah, the plane sequence. Holy shit! Come on, get out of here. Number 27, Weapons, directed by Zach Kreger. I'm a Zach Kreger guy. I've had season tickets probably since I was like 10 years old. For all the White House kids, I got the package. And Weapons, I was pumped for. I loved Barbarian. I had Weapons stock way early, and he was talking about this movie like he was gassing it up. He said it was his Magnolia, and like I think he said that he's, I don't know, I don't even know. It's a big long script. It's like his Odyssey, in a way. And I was so pumped for it because I love Barbarian so much. That movie is like the perfect blend of horror and comedy. Horror comedy is a tough genre. It really is, because it can just be like cringe jokes while like the scary stuff is happening, rather than actually being good. But Barbarian was a great comedy. And so Weapons, I was pumped up for it. And then the marketing was insane, and people were going wild for this movie, so excited for it. They made me even more pumped. I couldn't wait for it. I couldn't see it for a few days because I had to go wait. I had to see it with people, so I couldn't go see it on the Thursday or Friday, which in hindsight I should have. And so I let people go see it and let myself see the reviews before I actually saw it, and people were just loving it. People were going nuts for the movie. And I even saw like people like talking about like Amy Madigan's character, how big of a player she was. So like, things were sort of given away. And when I actually saw it, I was just left a little bit underwhelmed. I really was. Even though it's ranked at 27, I was ultimately just like, I was left like, that's it. That was my first thought. It's a really, really, really good movie. I saw it a second time and I liked it more. And I think expectations with the movie are important to keep in check, because otherwise you're left with maybe not liking a movie like Weapons as much as you should. But I still feel like even if my expectations weren't crazy high, I think by the end, the build up and everything was so much and so great that I think by the end I would have been like, so that's it, huh? Anyway, number 26, The Monkey, directed by Osgood Perkins, starring Theo James in twin roles, in dual roles. He plays twins. I love this movie so much. Another horror comedy that perfectly blends it. It just perfectly walks that line. I said it was a tough genre to do, but here's two horror comedies ahead of all the other horror movies lower on the list. The Monkey is just violence when it needs to be. It has so many fun, dumb, stupid jokes. And it makes me believe in Osgood Perkins. It really does. If he makes movies like The Monkey for the rest of his career, I will be all in on the guy until the day he dies. It's like it's just my kind of humor. And then the scares are like silly and ridiculous and Looney Tunes-ish. It really are. It's such a great movie. If you haven't seen The Monkey, it's one of those movies you got to run to see. Like I think I saw it and then I watched it the second it came out on streaming, like back-to-back days. It's so much fun. Yeah, Osgood Perkins. Let's see it with the next one. Really, we really do have to. Something's got to give. Yeah. I was gonna stop and do the rest tomorrow morning, but I'm just gonna rub my eyes and see what happens. Oh. Should I power through, folks? Yeah, what the hell. Number 25, The Testament of Ann Lee, which I also saw at the IFF Fall Focus. Have I done the other ones that I saw at the Fall Focus? No? Yeah, Ann Lee, I saw at the Brattle for the Fall Focus. I was pumped up for this movie. I liked The Brutalist a lot. I say that because this movie was written by the writers of The Brutalist, Brady Colbert and his partner, Mona Fastborough, who, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Fastborough, I believe might be right. Oh, God. Anyway, Mona F. She directed the movie, and like it was the same creative team, the same composer, and this is a musical starring Amanda Seyfried, so I was pumped up. Sure, this movie was about Mormons, the Mormon Shaker movement to be exact, but I was still pumped up enough. And I enjoyed it a lot. It's incredible looking. Amanda Seyfried is great. Lewis Pullman's really good. Yeah, it's a super interesting movie, and I wasn't crazy into it. But I appreciate it enough, and I think Amanda Seyfried is one of the best performances of the year. And that one song stuck in my head. La 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 la. I don't even think I have it right. I haven't heard it in 2.5, 3 months, but whenever I'll see like a little trailer blip and I hear it, it's just booming in my head. It's a great score. I think the MVP of the movie is the composer who wrote all the music as well. It's co-MVP with him and Seafried. It's really just great. Daniel Bloomberg, is that right? Yes, I just said it, so it probably is. Number 24. Noah Baumbach's Jay Kelly, starring George Clooney, Adam Sandler, Laura Dern, Billy Crudup, Greta Gerwig. I was going to try to keep rallying them off, but it's late and I'm tired. That was pretty good in itself. I'm not going to try to make excuses. Really good movie. Again, one of those Oscar expectations years in advance. I saw this at Coolidge Corner on, not Thanksgiving night. It was in December. But yeah, I had super high expectations, and then once the reviews started coming out, I had to temper them a little bit. But still, I was pumped up. I love Noah Baumbach, and I wasn't going to let other people's opinions decide mine. But ultimately, I wasn't even underwhelmed. It actually met my expectations after the reviews had come out. It was like a slightly better than I had hoped. And I even was crossing my arms after an hour or so into the movie. I already did a review on this, but I was crossing my arms almost like, this is kind of on the nose entirely, and it's just not working for me at all. But the last scene and the closing, it just works so much for me. It's so incredible, I think, that it just ties the whole movie together. It really does. It's such a powerful last scene, and it's so well written, and it's also well directed at the whole sequence. The sequence can be polarizing. I can see how people wouldn't like it. I laughed when I heard about it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and especially, like I said, the last line is powerful. Number 23, It Was Just an Accident, directed by Jafar Panahi. I saw this at the West Newton Cinemas with my buddy Nate, yet to be on the show, and Austin of Zach Popcorn fame. Empty theater, just us three. This is a movie that I was pumped up for. I've been pumped up for this movie since May. Like I said, I listened to these Oscar predictions. I read the articles talking about it. I'm all in. I'm tapped in for the whole year about what the contenders are. And this movie premiered at Cannes in May, and it won the Palme d'Or. It won the top prize at the festival, at the top festival. Not that that's direct correlation, but last year Anora won the Palme, and it swept at the Oscars. It won the first man to ever win first person to ever win 4 Oscars, and it was a major contender all season. So it's never a bad thing to win the Palme d'Or. I feel like I'm not even getting that right anyway. Yeah, and this is a movie directed by a director, Jafar Panahi, who is a convict in Iran. Like, he's a enemy of the state. Like, he's banned from making movies in Iran. He has to make the movies in secret, and he has a court hearing the day of the Critics' Choice Awards. So he will not be here Sunday if he wins Best Foreign Film or Best Director. I think he's nominated for as well. He won't be there to accept it because he's getting questioned for crimes. But I was left slightly underwhelmed because the campaign of the story was just so much, and it was so big, and it was like, oh man, this movie's so intense, it's so crazy. But when you hear that about a movie, then you're like, all right, this movie's so intense, it's so crazy. And then it is intense and it is crazy, but you're like, all right, let's get to the so intense and so crazy. And then it never really, in your head, you're always like, I expected more in a way. And that's just like what I was left with whatever the friggin' movie I'm talking about is. It Was Just an Accident. I was left wanting a bit more, especially by the closing that people talk about so much. I liked it, but I think I might have to watch it again because I just didn't love it. Number 22, Blue Moon. Directed by Richard Linklater. The first of 2 Richard Linklater movies on this list, starring Ethan Hawke, Buddy from Everybody Loves Raymond, not Raymond, Margaret Qualley, Andrew Scott, and a couple of other actors as well. And this is, Richard Linklater, it's just people talking and kind of hanging out in a bar for an hour and 45 minutes. And nobody directs. I don't know if you read this one. Humans interacting and talking to each other better than Richard Linklater. He's my favorite director, maybe, especially if you throw working in there. But he's just such a beast. Every single one of his movies are so likable at the very least. They're just so easy to connect to. Like, when the people are talking, it just feels like regular humans more so than any other movie. And in this movie, it's so reliant on an Ethan Hawke performance, him bouncing around talking to everybody, and it's so great. Apparently, the script was written like 20 years ago, or the story was written like 20 years ago, but Linklater just kept telling Ethan Hawke, he's like, you're not ready. And he was probably right. Waiting for him to be this age, it was absolutely perfect. He's going to get nominated, and he has a real chance to win the Oscar. So kudos to Richard Linklater. He's one of the greatest of all times. He really is. Greatest of all times. Greatest of all time. He really is. Number 21, Roofman. I know who directed this, but it's not worth it. Starring Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst. This was advertised as like this fun, good time hangout movie, but it's just like a sad, emotional family drama. It really is. And it works for me still, but if it was advertised like that, I think it might have been a bigger hit, and maybe like you could have faked a campaign for either of these two. But yeah, it all kind of goes on Channing Tatum as far as like this charm, and Kirsten Dunst actually as well. She's just great in everything she's in. But you root for Channing Tatum so much. When these movies where like people like there's convicts like doing bad things, and it's like the army's out, the bad guys are out to get him. Like it's important to have a guy that you can actually root for, a good guy. And Channing Tatum is a great good guy. He really is. He's like a sneaky movie star. Like Dog made money. Blink Twice made some money. This movie made some money. His movies make money. Like Channing Tatum brings in the dough as much as folks wouldn't want to admit it, I'm sure. Well, I'm chugging along here. Number 20, Caught Stealing, directed by Darren Aronofsky, starring Austin Butler and Matt Smith and Zoe Kravitz and Vincent D'Onofrio and who's that other old Jew? He's the guy from Scream who's accused of killing him. Folks, in a devastating turn of events, I got hit with a full storage there out of nowhere. And I really don't know what that means. I don't know if that means I'm going to have to redo this again in a couple days. Or tomorrow when I can't put them together on iMovie. I'm petrified, for being completely honest. But yeah, I was cut off when I was talking about Caught Stealing. I love Caught Stealing. High octane action movie. It's like a they don't make them anymore 101 kind of movie. Like they really don't make movies like this with just like, this movie is about a movie star running around and interacting with other B-level actors, other really talented actors in New York City, getting into crime and trying to stay out of trouble and stay alive. And it's one of the best movies of the year. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. It's a blast. It's on Netflix. I saw this in theaters with my buddy Austin, and we loved it. And I watched this like 2 weeks ago with my parents on Netflix, and they liked it a lot too. It's perfect. It really is just like a perfect action movie. It's exactly what you want. It's so many twists and turns. It keeps moving. Maybe takes 15 minutes to get going. But if you're complaining about a movie that takes a while to get going and it's 15 minutes, I mean, come on. It's a movie. I don't know, like, whatever. I'm looking at like a stack of movies trying to think of a movie that starts quick. It's no basketball, man. It's not like they're inventing a new sport 5 minutes into the freaking story. Number 19, is it Steven Soderbergh too? I think it is, but I can't be sure. Black Bag, starring Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett. This is a great spy movie. I like this movie so much. I said my parents loved Caught Stealing. They hated Black Bag. They saw it before me. They were like, don't bother. Capital B, capital D, capital B. And I thought, all right, sure, but it's January and there's really nothing out, so I'm going to bother. And when I did bother, I loved the crap out of it. It was so cool. It was so slick. I think that's the perfect word to describe it. It's just such a slick movie. It really is. It's a spy movie. It's about Michael Fassbender. He's in a spy agency, and at the start, it opens up with I think it's a sick back shot of him walking into a nightclub, the music booming, and he meets like his boss or somebody or like an advisor, and he's like, there's 5 names or something on this list, and one of them is a traitor. And one of those names is your wife. It's up to you to find out who the traitor is. And it's just, that's it. It lays the movie out, and 90 minutes later, you find out it does the whole thing. He has 90 minutes to figure it out. The movie, not actually. But you go on the ride, and there's never really a dull moment. There's like the intense dinner scenes. There's like a couple interrogations, sort of. And it's a home run. It really is. I think it's a gem. It's not even underrated. It's like I guess underrated to the wide public, because I don't think it was that big of a hit and many people have seen it, but everyone who has seen it does love it and just knows how great it is, excluding my parents. Number 18, Eternity. Did the review already of this with Mac, who's kind of box office poison, and I think like 14 total people watched it. I'm sure that was just the MacGyver family. Really good movie, beautiful movie. It's an incredible looking movie. I said it was the best rom-com in over a decade. I can't think of like since 500 Days of Summer. I mean, it really is. It's largely in part because of how great it looks. So many rom-coms now. I mean, it's like Netflix, Hallmark, like those kinds of movies. Like that's where the rom-com movies go because that's what the audience watches. Like they don't really go to the movies. They stream movies, but it's nice to get a movie like this, even though it didn't make money. It just relies on 3 actors, and it doesn't even just rely on 3 actors. It has 3 actors giving great performances, but it's also a really good script, a good premise, and an incredible looking movie. I've jacked the how great it looks enough, but I mean the production design and the cinematography. It's some of the best of the year, and it's in a rom-com. And then Elizabeth Olsen, Callum Turner, Miles Turner, Jesus Christ, Callum Turner, Miles Teller. Just like the relationship, the triangle, the dynamic between the 3 of them, and even the guardian angels. Like so many parts of this movie could have been annoying. It could have not worked. But all of it does, and it ends up being lovable as hell. I guess except for the ending. I don't love the ending so much. Maybe I could have dinged it a couple spots lower because of that. I gotta take medicine again. It's been a while. But yeah, I like the movie so much. I really do. Number 17, Train Dreams, which I also saw at the IFF Fall Focus, and it's one of the best theater experiences I can remember because I've never heard people cry like that in my life, even at a funeral and a wake, probably similar to a funeral or a wake. It's just like the last 5 minutes of that movie, it was insane, and I was one of them. I was probably crying on the lesser side than most, honestly, too, especially because the girl behind me absolutely dry, like sobbing. I'm not making fun of her. That's just an impression. And I felt bad for her. I felt absolutely terrible. Someone should have consulted her, not me. It's been so weird, but I mean, it was like a insane experience. The amount of people absolutely crying their eyes out, and it was a sad movie, and it was one of the best movies of the year. Keeping it moving. Another movie we saw at the Fall Focus. Train Dreams should be a bigger Oscar player than I think it's going to be. I think it's Netflix's, their best movie of the year. But it's the best of their contenders that they're actually pushing. 4th best movie of the year. But it's the best of their contenders, actually, that they're pushing. 4th best of the year. Good year for Netflix. I'm just going to grab a bottle of water. I'm going to pause it. I don't want to... I'm going to stand up. Step over the table. Oh. Pardon me. Where was I? Number 16, Left-Handed Girl. Another Netflix movie that we saw at the Brattle for the Fall Focus. And it was great. It's a Chinese movie. That's how you know I'm much better and smarter than each of you, because I go see Chinese movies. But it's incredible. I saw this and I was excited for it because it was co-written and edited by Sean Baker of Anora, Florida Project, Red Rocket fame. And I love the guy. His movies they're for me. I'm all in on them. Anora is my least favorite of those 3. And it got the most acclaim. I'm not just being like a hipster, but I mean, I spill this water on myself all the time. This movie is super interesting. It looks great. I mean, I don't even want to give too much kudos to Sean Baker. I don't know the director's name. That's kind of why I'm doing it. Why I'm giving him more credit. But the woman who he wrote it with and directed it, she does such a good job. The way it's directed is so interesting. In the camera, the way the camera goes, like on the daughter's moped, and like the way it follows the younger daughter running around, and the score, everything just works supremely. It really does. Everything works supremely. That's like a normal thing people say. I'm drinking too much water. But yeah, Left-Handed Girl. It's Chinese. It's Chinese. It's on Netflix. You should check it out. Number 15, Sentimental Value, directed by Joachim Trier, starring Renata Reinsev, I'm not going to butcher the last name. Inga I. Elle Fanning and Stellan Skarsgård. And yeah, it's one of the best movies of the year. 15th best movie of the year, if you ask me. But I had much higher expectations, and I feel like I docked it a few spots because, or in my mind, it's just like it didn't meet my expectations, so I'm holding it to a higher regard because this is one of those movies that came out at Cannes, and I was super pumped for. I really was, because it didn't win Cannes. Obviously, it was just an accident won Cannes. This won the second prize at Cannes, Sentimental Value, but it was like the big winner as far as the buzz goes. People could not stop talking about Sentimental Value. That was the big Oscar player. In May, when this movie had just come out, it was like, all right, Sentimental Value versus Sinners. Buckle up. And yeah, I just didn't do a ton. It didn't move me a ton. Like, the performances were great. It's super well made. I think I might have seen it again. I might have been frazzled running in because I was late and I walked in right when it started, and I was like, I think I was running hot. Literally, I was like sweating bullets in the theater. So yeah, I might have to just see it again. It might just be a skill issue on my part going to the movie the way I did. But yeah, really good movie. Some incredible performances. Stellan Skarsgård should be in lead actor, but he definitely could win supporting actor. I think Inga Ipsaletter, that's like my guess, and I feel terrible even saying that because that can't be right. Ipsdotter? I don't know. She's great in the movie. I think she's definitely should get nominated. She could win. I don't think she will, but she's one of those. She should be one of the big contenders, as should Elle Fanning. Elle Fanning is a great actress. This is back-to-back years of her giving an incredible performance, being slightly overshadowed by another supporting actress in the cast. But, I mean, that's no fault to her. That's her giving 2 of the 10 best supporting actress performances of the year. And they just only nominate 5. They don't nominate 7 or 8. Number 14. I'm sure you could guess. Nouvelle Vague. Directed by Richard Linklater and starring Zoe Deutsch and a collection of French actors. This is a French movie. Directed by Richard Linklater. It's in French. God. And it's about the making of Breathless, a movie at the start of the French New Wave in the 1950s, I believe. I mean, a movie, if it wasn't directed by Richard Linklater, I would have no interest whatsoever in seeing. I would think it was stupid. I would think it was dumb. I would turn my nose even at people interested in it, and I would call them assholes in my head. But the fact that it was directed by Richard Linklater, I thought I have to give it a chance. And I think the first review I actually saw of this movie said it feels like a Richard Linklater hangout movie while in the French New Wave, which, like, if it's a Richard Linklater hangout movie, I'm there as soon as possible. Even if it's a Netflix movie, I'm driving as far as I need to see. And this movie's super cool. It's about, like, the characters it's like that, and it is just like a hangout movie. I think I didn't do a video of this actually, but Zoe Deutsch is great. She's super charming. I love her. But it's about Jean-Luc Godard. I'm definitely butchering that name, the director of Breathless, and he's just the coolest guy ever. He wears sunglasses inside, obviously, as you can tell, as everyone knows. He's just always wearing sunglasses, and the movie starts with him watching a movie in a packed movie theater while wearing sunglasses. Like, you can see the reflection off his glasses, and it's just the coolest thing in the world. And it just immediately, he's like, all right, this guy's the man. And the way they talk to each other is just so cool. It's funny. The way he directs the movie is just so, it's honestly, the way that Godard directs the movie is so interesting. And the way Linklater directs the movie is incredibly interesting as well. It's so cool to watch, and seeing it in a theater, not watching it on shitty Netflix, is great. That's why the Landmark is great. It's for things like that. It's not a great theater. But, yeah, and Richard Linklater is just the best. He's like my favorite director in the world. I freaking love that guy. I could go on and on just about him. What's his next movie? I don't know. Yeah, I love Nouvelle Vague. It's so watchable and accessible and, like, digestible, too. It's a French New Wave black and white. It's a movie about the French New Wave in French, in black and white. and takes place in the 1950s. So most people just think like, oh, that sucks and it's stupid. I'm not wasting my time with that. But you suck and you're stupid, and I'm not wasting my time with you. If you're not willing to watch an hour and 45-minute Richard Linklater movie, that's one of the best movies of the year. Yeah, that's right. Jeez. Number 13, Rebuilding. Directed by, who really knows? Could be anyone. And then starring Josh O'Connor and Megan Fahey. I went on and on about this about a month and a half ago, and I love Josh. I've gone on and on about this for about a month and a half, and I love Josh O'Connor. I really do. He's just the best actor. No, he's not the best actor, but he's had like the best year in Hollywood, dating back to Challengers last year. The last 20 months of his career has just been incredibly interesting. He does such different roles, but meets and delivers perfect performances almost every time. He really does. In this movie, he's playing a dad. He's like a sad, schluppy performance, and he completely knocks out of the park every single emotional beat. He absolutely nails. It's the relationship with the young actor is so good. I love Josh O'Connor, and it's a crier. It's one of the all-time criers of the year. Even people walking out, everyone was sniffling behind me in the theater. People walking out. There's one bro said to his bro, was like, dude, I didn't expect to cry that much. I'm like only slightly misquoting. He literally was like talking about how he was shocked at how much he cried. I'm gonna pee the bed tonight. I'm drinking so much water. Number 12, more Josh O'Connor. That should be a movie. Like more. Jesus Christ, what am I thinking of? Oh my God. More American Graffiti. More Josh O'Connor. Sequel where he clones himself, and the other one's like he's like it's like a sex comedy, and he's just like a stud that like he's the king of a frat or something. Like this Josh O'Connor, he's an American. Anyway, that'd be pretty good actually. That'd actually be really good. Number 12, Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out 3. I love it. I went on and on about this already for about a half hour about a month ago. I saw this at the Fall Focus on Halloween, packed house. And everyone loved it. It was played incredibly well. It was sold out. People were laughing. People were gasping. Not really. People were jumping in their seat. Not really. People were hooting and hollering. Kind of. And people clapped when the credits rolled. Yeah. I love Knives Out 1. I don't love Knives Out 2. But Benoit Blanc is still awesome. Daniel Craig is still a really good actor. But they made the correct choice in this movie. They hand the baton to Josh O'Connor, and he is the lead. He's the driving force here. And he does a great job carrying, not really even carrying the movie, but like, he pretty much does. He's like the liaison between Daniel Craig and the actual cast of characters, and he pretty much explains the cast more than they actually perform it. He's so good in this movie. I love Josh O'Connor. It might be his best performance of the year. But yeah, he's fastly becoming one of the best actors in the world, and he has Steven Spielberg's next movie coming out in June, and there's no telling how powerful he can become. After Knives Out 1, I was like, oh, nice. I'm there for a million Knives Out movies. They can make 100 of these. After Knives Out 2, I thought they should make 0 more of these exactly. Now, after Knives Out 3, when I made this video 3 days ago, I think I said that I'm back in on more Knives Out movies, but I think I'm going to be good on that. I think I just want him to do, Ryan Johnson just do original movies. Just cast Josh O'Connor in like an original movie. Doesn't have to have Benoit Blanc investigating a cast of people that Ryan Johnson would disagree with politically. And I like this movie a lot still. Number 11, 28 Years Later, directed by Alex Garland, written by Danny Boyle, maybe vice versa. Incredible movie. I was blown away by how much I liked this movie, really. It had a ton of buzz, but I just thought like, all right, that's just like people maybe force feeding themselves because it came out in, I think, January. But I watched 28 Days Later before, leading up to it. I liked it. I didn't watch 28 Weeks Later because, I mean, I'm a grown man and I have shit to do and I'm not wasting my time watching shitty movies. But when I saw this movie, man, like I said, I was blown away. It was sad. It pulls at the emotional level elements. It really just nails all those. The performance by the child actor is completely incredible. Who plays the dad? That's going to bother me. Anyway. And then Ralph Fiennes is just so great. Absolutely incredible. This movie is just so cool. It's so brutal, and I mean, it's the best zombie movie in, I don't know, like 40 years. Yeah, I love it. And the second one, fourth one, the second one of this new trilogy, 28 years later, The Bone Temple, it had its first screening like 2 weeks ago. And literally, like the next day, they announced, "Yep, 28 years. The third 28 years later movie has been confirmed." After how well that screening went, people were going nuts for it. That movie is supposed to be unhinged insanity, and I can't wait for it. I'm gassed right now. Number 10, The Long Walk. It's an emotional roller coaster. It really is. It's about one teen boy from each state goes and walks as long as he can, and whoever's the last one standing they start from the tippy top of Maine, I can only assume Madawaska, and they walk all the way down Route 1. The last one standing wins a lifetime of riches, lifetime of riches, and a wish they must be granted immediately from the government. It's like a dystopian. It's Stephen King's first novel in a dystopian universe, and I mean, it's a cool premise. It works. I mean, it just sounds so awesome to me, and they really just nailed it. It's, like I said, it's an absolute emotional roller coaster. From the start, it's all these kids feeling each other out, and then it quickly kind of becomes them hanging out, like them becoming a crew, and like getting to know one another, and really, like, ow. I mean, and like when you're getting to know these characters, you love them. You love seeing these boys hang out, and there's nothing better in a movie than guys hanging out, and that's what you get a good amount of in the first half hour, and then it just becomes this completely so intense drama, just with these people dying one by one. That's no spoiler. It's a competition, and the backbone of the movie is really Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson, especially the chemistry between the two of them. The fact that they hit it off so well, they're interested in making more movies together, is such a gift to not just Hollywood but the world in general, because they're gonna make so much more magic as their careers go on. They're two of the best young actors that we have. David Johnson's incredibly underrated, and Cooper Hoffman's obviously properly rated as a great actor, as a incredible actor. But the chemistry they had was special, and they could keep it rolling. And they're the life of this movie that elevates this movie from like in the 30s and like a 3 out of 5 movie to like a 4.5 out of 5. I love this movie so much. It's so intense. Another movie I love is This Thing On, directed by Bradley Cooper, starring Will Arnett, Laura Dern, and Bradley Cooper. I saw this at the Fall Focus as well with Austin of Zack Popcorn fame, and me and Austin of Zack Popcorn fame went to when we went to New York for Marty Supreme. This was the movie we saw during the day. The review that we did is not up yet. I'm probably going to put it up next week before the release of the movie wide. But, I mean, it's such a lovable movie. It really is. It's just so goddamn good. Bradley Cooper, after A Star Is Born, after Maestro, hot seat almost, because like he so clearly wanted the Oscars so bad. And Maestro was such a hard campaign. Like, he campaigned so openly for it. And that's not a knock. It's not like he wrote a letter asking voters to vote for him, which would be pretty freaking sad. And if he did, could you imagine the outcry? But, I mean, he was talking about like literally like speaking to the ghost of Leonard Bernstein and having lunch with the guy, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So after that, it's nice to see him completely rein it in. He's reining it in and making just a small, essentially just like a family drama, like a slice of life, just like a comedy drama with his buddies. And this was like it's a strong suit for him. A Star Is Born. The best parts of that is when him and Lady Gaga are like just talking and getting to know each other. And this movie is just so much like about relationships, and like the Laura Dern and Will Arnett's like it's about their relationship and talking to each other. And he has a knack for, I think, that kind of stuff, like slice of life stuff, not the big sprawling stuff. Like, I don't so much love the big sprawling stuff in The Star Is Born. I think whenever it actually stops and slows down, like at the start before it takes off, and then at the end when he's in rehab, I think those are the strong suits. And then Maestro, I don't love. And that's a huge, big, grand experience. And then this is small, and this is maybe his best movie. And it just works so well for me. And the character he's playing feels like he knows the things people are saying about him, knows like what people think he thinks he is. He plays an actor that's like so obsessed with getting in his roles, even though he's like a loser and not a great actor, but like he's so consumed by like the art that he can't break out of the roles, and he's grown out the beards and stuff and has the mustache. He plays like a complete, almost like a fool version of what people think he is. And it's so funny. He really is hilarious. And his name is Balls in the movie. Number 8, Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan. This is one of the best movies of the year, folks. There's no other way to say it. I saw this movie like 2 weeks after it came out, so I was late on the hype train. And similar to It Was Just an Accident and Sentimental Value, that kind of dampened the experience a little bit. Like walking out, you're almost left with like that was it? Because you hear people talk about it on and on. You're like, all right, it's my turn to absolutely love this movie and be blown away by this movie and have a surreal experience. And then when you only have a really good experience and not a surreal experience, you're like, huh, that's it, huh? And for Sinners, I even just like didn't love all of it walking out. Like the big music number scene where it's the generations of music all coming together. I find it kind of silly. I'm going to whisper to you guys, keep it between us. I find that whole thing a little bit ridiculous. And I went to the bathroom during it. It was just so stupid, dare I say? I mean, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Number 7. Number 8, Sinners. I mean, I loved it. I'm not going to go on too much, but it really was great. Number 7, Avatar, Fire and Ash. I'm not going to go into it too much. I just did go into it. It's a really good movie. Michael B. Jordan should get Oscar love. I think he is getting it. And Ryan Coogler making original movie. Why am I not going to get too much into it? I'm so tired. I don't even know what I'm saying. Ryan Coogler making original movies like this with a superstar like Michael B. Jordan, having that collaboration is so important to Hollywood and such a essential part of the wheel. It really is. It's like, not only do we have like an incredible director consistently pumping out stuff, but he's doing it with an elite talent. And we have an elite talent constantly in the right hands and a guy that he works so well with. So these guys are going to collaborate and just constantly put out the goods. I firmly believe that. Number 7, Avatar, Fire and Ash, directed by Big Jim Cameron, starring Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana. I love it. I went on and on about this the other day. But it's like, seriously, it's the most badass movie of the year. Sam Worthington is so good. Zoe Saldana is so good. All the actors, really, they're so great, especially like the main one. Like the guy who plays Quaritch, the main cast is great. And even the kid who plays Spider. Spider's such a funny punk kid. Such a necessary character. But, yeah, the whole closing sequence is just incredible. And then the effects from start to finish. It's a feast for the eyes. I saw it in 3D, and it was one of the best theater experiences of the year for me. Everything just looks so good. It looks like Pandora is real, and then the V are real people, and you can go hang out with them if you want, which I would love to do. I love these movies. I love 2. I love 3. I think that the action, when they actually try to when Cameron really vamps up the action, I mean, there's nobody else like him. Just look at Avatar, Way of Water, and Fire and Ash, especially at this point of his career when it's like, not so much the afterthought, but, I mean, it might be. Number 5, Begonia, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. I don't know why I made him Latino. And starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. And, I mean, it's incredible. It really is. Yorgos Lanthimos, my relationship with him, I saw Poor Things in theaters with my brother, fell asleep, not the movie's fault, late night the night before, and I was tired, and it was early, and it was in Dedham, far away, like 45 minutes, so I fell asleep, and we left early because he hated it. I mean, based move by him. And then when I saw it alone, I loved it. I really did. Emma Stone's incredible. It's a cool, interesting, it's a like one-of-a-kind looking movie. I've never seen, and I don't know if I will ever see anything like that movie. But, yeah, it just really is, or Begonia really is, like, more accessible. It's like it's not so much like Poor Things is like he creates a world. I love Poor Things. And then Kinds of Kindness isn't, it's the next movie. My brain's all over the place, but Kinds of Kindness was his next movie, and I didn't love it. It's an anthology. It's 3 movies. There are 3 stories. It takes place in the present day. I don't love it. But then for this one, the story itself, it's about Jesse Plemons and his cousin. They they kidnap Emma Stone, the CEO of a major company, because they believe that, or one of the biggest companies in the world, because they believe she's an alien sent to destroy the world. And I mean, it's perfect. When you hear that, your ears don't even perk up; they shoot out of the sky, and they're right to. And when you see it, your eyeballs pop out of your skull. It's so great. Emma Stone should win the Oscar. Jesse Plemons should be getting some love. Even Aiden DeBranch, I'm guessing his last name, the co-star, he should maybe even be getting like small love. Like he should win one Critics Circle Choice Awards. Yeah, it's one of the most like enjoyable start to finish watches, and I think even rewatches. I haven't rewatched it, but I think it is just going to be an incredible rewatch. Number 4, Eddington. Ooh, yeah, number 4, Eddington. I almost moved it up, but I mean, I love Eddington. I got the Midsommar poster over my shoulder. You won't find it'd be hard to find a bigger Ari Aster head than me, and this goes back to seeing Midsommar in theaters, I believe July 23rd, 2019, and sort of life changing, I guess. Walking out, it's like looking into this guy's life, like finding out who he is, what he's made, and what is next for him. And he's pretty much been, I guess, my favorite director ever since, even though Beau is Afraid isn't one of my favorite movies of his. But this one is just so freaking good. It feels like a culmination of his entire life's work. It's so funny. All of his movies have had laughs when they needed to, but this movie is just so goddamn funny. And it just nails every single camera shot. Like, it's so well made. It's like he's just operating on a level that is freaking sublime in this movie. It's the 4th best movie of the year for a reason. And Ari Aster, I mean, there was people doubting him. I even was one of those people. When I heard that he was making a movie set during the pandemic, I rolled my eyes. I can't lie. I thought, Jesus Christ, can't we just move past it? But, I mean, sure, we could, but it was a 2-year period where people were losing their goddamn minds. It was so funny. And it was so ridiculous. And, I mean, as far as I know, that's like the first actual, like, big project Hollywood movie to completely riff on that and make fun of it and have it be successful, not just from, like, a Ben Shapiro angle side. The whole cast is really great. It really is. It's incredible. And I think I saw it in theaters 3 times, and I watched it 1 time since. We're getting into the thick of it, folks. 3, 2, 1. That's all we got left. Just 3 more movies. Number 3. The Man with the Ping Pong Paddle. Marty Supreme, or as my dad called him today, Joey Ping Pong, Johnny Magnificent, Johnny Tremendous, and then just marvelous, he said at one point. But, I mean, it's one of the best movies of the year. I try not to have recency bias, but recency bias is the kind of thing that stops you from saying a movie is as great as it is. Because I saw this movie so recently, I mean, it is the 3rd best movie of the year. From the top, the direction, the score, the script from Bronstein and Safdie, that it's edited so well, also from Safdie, the production design, the costume design, every single performance in the cast, every single person just crushes their assignment here. It's an absolute perfect storm, all hands on deck, and I mean, getting Benny Safdie leaving and creating his own team is just huge for Josh, because I mean, these movies just still have that same feel to them, still grimy, high octane, and set intensity feel to them that like no other movies have the feeling like Safdie movies have. And it's sad that Josh Safdie will now have the label of Safdie movies. Like, that's a Safdie movie if it's from Josh Safdie. And I mean, Chalamet, what else can I say? He's an absolute god. It's the best performance of the year. It's one of the 2 best performances of the year. But the movie hinges so much on him, and you just go on the ride with him. And it's not like he's playing this likable, lovable guy, so you're going to automatically love him and go on the ride with him. You're almost unwilling to go on the journey with him, but he drags you with him. And you enjoy it. You still enjoy it, and you still love watching the guy because the energy that he just brings at every single minute of the movie. It's just absolutely incredible. Marty Supreme is just so good. The energy is off the charts. Yeah, it's one of the best movies of the year. And Josh Safdie is, seriously, he cements himself as one of the best directors in the world. Benny is a really great director as well, but I mean, actually, Josh, I mean, just the whole staff is incredible. Number 2. We've had a lot of fun here, folks. Maybe I'll give a big speech. I would fall asleep. Number 2, No Other Choice, directed by Park Chan-wook, starring Lee Isaac Chung. I'm not racist. I think that is his name. But then again, I might be lying and I might be racist if it isn't his name. It's, I think, the best directed movie of the year. It really is. Like, he's just showboating Park Chan-wook. And the people who have seen it say, like, this is standard stuff from him. It's like he really just knows, he's like a god of the camera and knows exactly what to do at any given moment. And the story itself is hilarious as well. It's like Looney Tunes-ish, the comedy events that happen. It's about a man who needs his job, who loses his job, and he's going up for another job, and he really comes to the conclusion that he needs to eliminate his competition one by one. There's only one thing he can do, and that's just take them all out. And it's so funny. There's so many dumb, ridiculous scenes. As like rude maybe as that sounds, but it's so good. And the direction, I mean, it's just off the charts. If you can't see this in a theater, I mean, try. No other choice. Try to see it in a theater. If you can't see it in a theater, watch it in a quiet room with all the lights off. Because it's just so good. It deserves like the theatrical experience as much as possible. And I've never seen one of Park Chan-wook's movies, but I hear this is just like standard stuff for him. The stuff he does with the camera, the zooms, just like the pans. It's incredible. I think it is the best directed movie of the year. But if it isn't, then it's number one. Paul Thomas Anderson's Epic Paul Battle After Another. Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another. The competition for Best Director, the competition for Best Actor is met by One Battle After Another, which is, seriously, it's just one of the best movies of the year. I don't know, or no, one of the best movies of the year. It's one of the best movies ever. I don't know how many movies I don't want to do off the top of my head where I just start naming movies and forget all of them. But I mean, it's just the best movie. It's so perfectly crafted. Let's do the performances. Leonardo DiCaprio is so goddamn good. And it's his best performance since Django, if you ask me. He's so freaking funny whenever he has to be. And then he switches to the series to the drop of a hat for the last 20 or so minutes. And the whole don't go dark on me, Bob. Every single thing works perfectly. The I love black girls. I love them. Oh my God. It's completely insane. Sean Penn's character, sure, it's like a sadistic and insane and unhinged guy, and nobody likes him, obviously. But it's crazy that people felt the need to be I don't know how you're laughing at this, but he's so goddamn funny, so ridiculous. That haircut, the costume, he looks like a goddamn fool. Chase Infinity, it's one of the best performances of the year. It really is. It's the fact that she's a newcomer. I don't think she'll get the Oscar love on the night, even though I already said Emma Stone should win. But I don't think either will win. And I think Chase Infinity would win if this was her second or third year in a big-time movie. And the discovery by Paul Thomas Anderson, should win him that Oscar. Like the best casting. Yeah. And then, Paul Thomas Anderson, it's just so tight. The script, it's so perfect. Apparently he's been working on this thing for 20 years. Apparently there was one tweet that said he was working on with his daughter, which I believe. I don't think that's true. But literally it's so, the script is so funny. It's everything just ties together so perfectly. There's so many different characters introduced. It's a perfect script. The direction is so incredible. The camera moves. All right, I did not like the feeling of having to put three of these together, but if I have to do this again, I just want to do it anyway. One battle after another. I was cut off. The camera work, every single scene is just unbelievable. Right off the bat, the whole first 25 minutes, like that prologue almost, and then all throughout when it flies around, when Leo's has to burst into action, it's it just feels so alive. And the hill chase scene, it's incredible. There's no chase scene like it. It's the greatest chase scene of all time. And every single Chase Infinity scene is the greatest chase scene of all time. Am I right, folks? That was weak. But yeah, it is. It's just, I love this movie so much. It's so lovable. And the fact that, spoiler alerts, the fact that it ends on the note that it ends on, it's just so important. The fact that it ends on a happy note, it's just, this is a movie that can't end on a bad note. It can't, it's, the ending is just so, maybe I just say that because the ending is so perfect. The heartbreak, if this ended, poorly for our protagonist, I can't even fathom what it would have been like how I would have felt. There's just no, you can't end, there has to be, it's a hope movie. It's a faith in society. If you walk away feeling good about the world, feeling happy to be alive, that's how great this movie is. There's not a lot of movies like that. There's not a lot of movies that just make you feel good about the world. And it's so incredible the way they end this movie. The American Girl, like, needle drop the whole over the credits. I can't think of an experience. I guess I could, but I mean, there's seldom been an experience like seeing this movie opening night on the Wednesday before it came out in VistaVision at Coolidge Corner, and when American Girl came in at the end, and you know that's the end of the movie, and when he's taking the selfie on the couch, and she's running out, and when just hearing the song echo over the speakers, and like the electric guitar coming in as the credits roll, I'm getting emotional thinking about it, folks. It's seriously it's just one of the greatest movies of all time. The crowd response the whole time, everyone was just so engaged. I don't know if there'll ever be an experience like that. It's essentially an original movie. Not really. It's based on a pretty famous book, loosely. But I mean, all these people gathered for such an incredible movie. It's why we play the game. It really is. It seriously is. Like, I could easily cry thinking about that opening night experience. And like, American Girl could, like, it's such a lame, it's not a lame song, it's such a simple song. Like, ending on that song, I'm sure there's been 10 to 50 movies that have ended like that. And it's so simple, but it just works. And if that song comes on and it catches me at the right moment, it can get me. I guess the way I feel right now, what a loser I am, about to cry. But it's so goddamn good, this movie. It really is. It's just one of the best movies ever, and I can't. Like, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then before that, what's the last movie that even compares to this? Off the top of my head, I can't even think of one. Like, I mean, you have to go back like 20 years to even start thinking of them. 25 years. It's just one of the best movies ever. It's such an incredible. It makes you believe, like I said, in the world, but also in the movies. The fact that movies can be this great still. People want to say that movies are dying, but like, they restored these 50-year-old cameras just so that a movie can look as great as this and be as great as this. And it's just incredible. It really is just the best movie ever. It might be my favorite movie ever when it's all said and done. Like, I've spent more time with other movies. I've had more time to think about and watch, and just like had years to have them fester. But I mean, I don't know if I've ever felt like this about a movie 3 months after seeing it. Even like minutes after seeing it, I felt like that. I don't know if I ever felt that way watching a movie. I really do think 20, 30 years from now, I could look back and just think like, that is easily the best movie ever. And that's the best theater experience ever. I'm just going to start sobbing. If I go on anymore, I'll start bawling my eyes out, because it was so special. Just literally like deep into American Girl, like the electric guitar just blasting over the speakers. It's unbelievable. It really was. It was unbelievable. And it was just such a good year of movies. One battle after another was so good, and it highlights such a good year. How many of these movies were great? 30? Could I say 30 of these movies were great? 36? The top 36, could I say? Could I say 25 great movies? There's an enjoyable. Like, how many of these movies were at least enjoyable? Like 51 of them, 55 movies, a good enough movie every week, and 15 bad movies, and 16 old movies to go see. People try to say movie theaters are dying, but it was just another great year for movies. The box office showed that. The box office numbers were up, more so than the experts even thought, if you even want to call them experts. I mean, One Battle After Another is a perfect movie for number one, it's a perfect movie to end on, because it just, like I said, it gives you so much hope for what movies are and what they can be and what people want to see and what I mean, it didn't make crazy money, but what is in now, I guess, like for these movies, what Hollywood could mean going forward, and what movies, I mean, every movie isn't going to be this great, but I don't know, I just feel like it's a great, this movie just makes me feel so alive. It really does. Even just talking about it. I don't know if there's a movie that can make me feel like that's just talking about it. I love this movie so much. I might just have to do a whole movie, I'll have to watch it soon. I'm going to watch it maybe tomorrow. And then I might just have to do a video about it. Anyway, that's it. That's the year. That's the year in review. That's the top 70 with our 16 bonus tracks. You know what? Here's 16 mo for you. Yeah, we had our fun. If this thing doesn't post, then my next video will be my last video, and it will be like I'll be reading a certain note aloud and ending it in climactic fashion is all I'll say. You'll want to hang in there for that one. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, folks. We had a lot of fun. Thanks for tuning in all year. We started late, but it's been a fun 3 months. And yeah, there's a lot of great movies to come. I'd like to do a year preview for 2026. But I mean, I feel like it's too late. Even though the year really doesn't start till the 9th for releases. And I mean, good ones don't count. But it's award season. No, I got to get something out for the Critics' Choice Awards Sunday. So yeah, if you made it this far into this video, I mean, you're like a gold jacket Zack Head. You could talk about it for years to come. If you made it this far, I was going to do a giveaway and give away the Marty Supreme ping pong big ball there, but I'm not actually going to give it to anyone. But I don't think anyone will make it this far. Yeah, thanks for watching, folks. Make sure to like and subscribe and share. And I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I don't know how to end these. Yeah, one battle after another. Movie of the decade, at least. Century, maybe? Of our lifetime, maybe.